Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. This is a live discussion on the missing boys out of California City. As most of you know, the case was handed over to Bakersfield Police Department 2 weeks ago or so, and not much information was given. Basically, none was given, but that basically they are preserving the investigation. Thank you. Hi, Change. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. So that's the said information there. Pertaining to what's been given, we know that a search took place at Miss Wanda West's home over a week ago. I do not know what was taken from that said address, if there was anything of relevance taken. So I bring you this information today. A title basically: has the case flatlined? Has it gone cold? What do the FBI and police have? What do the law enforcement have of relevance to this case as far as evidence and suspects? Naturally, they won't give us this information because they have to preserve the case. But some people may think that the case is cold at this moment. We're praying for the best for the children, naturally, and praying that something will come from whatever they have gathered pertaining to evidence and or suspects and or information. Just praying for the best, praying that there will be a suspect or plural arrested soon. But if not, are we now talking about a cold case? Because we're not getting information, naturally people will assume the worst, that, okay, maybe this is a cold case. But as Chief had said, the previous chief of, he's not the previous chief, but Mr. Walker had said that in his opinion, he didn't see it as a cold case. But naturally that was a month ago when that information that came from him. So now a new chief has given commentary, and it doesn't seem, the type of information you want to hear naturally when you're talking about missing children. So what is the 411 pertaining to this case? Those involved, who are they looking at? I'd like to know. It'd be nice to hear who they're looking at, but I understand why they can't say anything, because as Chief had once said, Chief Walker, why would I tell you who I think could have done this crime if we do have someone in mind? Because then they're still walking around free. And that makes sense. But Queen Talks and I were talking earlier this evening about how it's looking. It seemed grim to her. That was her opinion of this case. And I was like, I don't know. I was pondering the same myself a day or two ago. Where is this case going? What leads do they have? What evidence do they have? What was taken from Wanda West's home? What other searches have they exacted? What did they get from those searches? Why did they go to that address near the Casaloma Apartments? What were they looking for there? What tip led them there? They have done other searches that they did not announce to the public for obvious reasons, not to draw a crowd and have people lurking and meddling in their affairs and what they're trying to do pertaining to this case. So one would have to ask themselves, the places that they have gone to search publicly and unpublic, what were they looking for? What led them to those places? What were they looking for at Wanda West's home? What did they take out of that home? Devices, clothing, documents, phones, computers. What did they take? Who or whom are suspects? And that's the discussion this evening. Hello, Crystal. How you doing? Gulf Coast, thank you so much. Thank you, Night Owl. Enlightened One, thank you. Thank you all for joining me. We know they have other neighbors' footage, so they know something. Well, I don't claim to what they know. I just know. I just use common sense. You always leave a blueprint once you walk out of your home. So therefore, you're seen by something, some type of surveillance, be it going to the grocery store, gas station. So naturally, the said adoptive parents have been seen going about their way with those said children, and even without the said children, if indeed the children have been missing for a certain period of time. And of course, we don't even know how long the children have been missing from their peripheral. That has not been given. So there's so many questions you can ask. How long have the children been out of their custody? I think that would be the first and foremost. Allegedly, there was a legal adoption. All that's coming into question. The marriage of the two parties that were the adoptive parents. Some of you are questioning their other children. Will they get those children back? Just a lot of things in question pertaining to this case. And as I have went over this, mental brainstorm with certain people, the thing that's so weird to me is that no one has come forward to speak for or against the adoptive parents, which I find very odd, because usually when someone is accused of a crime and or their children or loved one goes missing, someone will speak on that person's behalf. They'll say, hi, I'm a neighbor, I'm a friend, I'm a relative, I'm a sister, brother. My brother's a great guy. He wouldn't be involved in any, foolishness, felonious activities. You don't have that in this case. No one has ever come forward to the news to ever speak on behalf of Jacqueline or Trezell West, which I find very peculiar. We are now in the month of March, near the end. Next week will be the 1st of April. So don't you find it odd that no one has ever spoken on behalf of these two parties ever? YouTube doesn't count. Facebook doesn't count. Pay sites don't count. Why not go to the news to say, hi, I'm a friend. Hi, this is my sister, my brother, my child? Why not go to the news and say? Because to me, the news would be considered a very decent source. Everyone's entitled to their opinion of the news. But no matter how you view the news outlet itself, they have a job to do. They may get it wrong, misspelling of a word, misprint of information. That is to be expected. But we also know they're supposed to fact check everything. So why wouldn't someone who cared about their relative go to the news? Why wouldn't you go to the news to speak and say, this is my son, my daughter. We are concerned about the children. They are concerned about the children. We are devastated by the disappearance of these children. We don't know where they are. These are good parents. They've had the children this long, blah, blah, blah. The children were joyful, this and that. You've heard nothing on behalf of Jacqueline Trezell from an outside source. You've heard no commentary pertaining to what the boys were like as children. I find that odd. No one has said anything about those kids. It's as if they never existed. And that's the feeling I get in this case, is that they didn't exist to these two people, these two beings, rather. I don't even want to classify them as human, and that's just my perception, because they've never come forward to say anything in a kind light about the children. And that is very odd to me. And I think most of us will find that odd, that no one has anything jovial to say about the children, anything positive to say about the children. You don't even have anyone speaking as an outsider about the children. So don't you find that strange? The parents can't tell you anything about the children, anything kind. An outside person, grandparent, uncle, cousin, neighbor, can't tell you anything positive about the children. Don't you find that odd? No one has anything nice to say about Jacqueline or Trezell West, nor does anyone have anything positive to say about the two itsy bitty spiders that are now missing. And we don't even know how long they've been gone. So I asked that question this evening. Who are the suspects? Are there any suspects? It'd be nice to know. But as I state, I understand why law enforcement, FBI won't give that information, because if they do not have all the said information to bring forth an indictment, then they can't release who they even think is a suspect, plural, and or what they have as a suspect. Hit the link if you'd like to join the live stream. Thank you. I'm afraid the case is going cold. The family already know how they are. That's why they're being hush-hush. Okay. I sent the police a message of why was Trezell had an earpiece and they were what? Telling him what to say. Barbara, why would you do that? Oh, man. Hi, Poshy Poo. Thanks for joining me. Didn't say anything. The mother just basically said, as far as she knows, they were good parents. And then they uploaded a photo of the children that was a photo that's younger. The children appeared younger than the photo that was released to the public and the Missing Persons Bureau. That photo that was uploaded to ABC News, the children were younger. And the crazy part about that photo is, one of the children, as I've stated before in my lives, One of the children that was sitting beside the grandfather isn't one of the missing boys. It is another African-American boy child. Most of us ascertain that is not the child. The two children. One of the children who's standing in the aisle is one of the missing children, but the child sitting beside the grandfather, next to the grandfather, that's not one of the missing boys. So that's why I said that was a farce. I don't even know why they would give that photo. And that's even more baffling. And I keep telling you all, this is why you have to pay attention to details. They're letting you know they've done something with the kids because Jacqueline and Trezell gave an old photo of the children that don't resemble a 3 and 4-year-old. Although we don't know these people personally or the children, but you understand what I'm saying. That photo was dated December 1st, 2019 on Mr. Watkins' Facebook page. So factor in a whole year later and 20 days later, your brother and his wife report the children missing, and the photo that they give is an old photo that was posted to Facebook a year before 2019. Then here comes Mommy and Poppy going before the news, and they're giving a picture that's even younger than that photo that's given to the police and the FBI and the Missing Persons Bureau. So these people are complicit as well in the disappearance of these two boys. They know something. They've done something as well. They know something. Now, exactly what they know, only the law enforcement possibly knows. If they aided in getting the kids gone, I don't know. But they know something. What that something is what I'd like to know. Because when they uploaded that photo to ABC News, I thought, dear God, what are we looking at here? Are you people this disrespectful to these babies? But then what did I always tell you? You can't give what you don't have. So if they gave those photos of those babies younger, then that means 9 times out of 10, that's the last time you saw them. Mommy, daddy, grandpappy, grandmommy, Wanda West and your husband, you're complicit as well. Because you gave a very old photo of the children. They were babies in that picture. So that means, when was the last time you actually saw the kids? This is a baffling story. It is a sick story because there's just no rhyme or reason why these sets of people gave authorities old pictures of these children. And that's why it was so sickening when the chief said, Bakersfield police chief said, if you have any information that relates to these children in the past year, please notify us. I thought to myself, oh my God. He didn't say around December 21st. He didn't say the month of December. He didn't say 3 months ago, 6 months ago. He said, if you have any information pertaining to the children in the past year. That's a big window. That's a very big window. So they know something. And something led them to that area, that rural area where they first checked. Something led them there. And I think phone records have come back from the lab. And that's why they were there. Could be wrong. But that's just my assumption. Thank you all so much. Yes, Joel, they are very strange. Hey, how you doing, Sammy? Hello, everybody. Right, I believe that too, real deal. They've been gone a long time. If you want to hit the link and join us, thank you. Hello, Tina. How you doing? People can't search for people they don't actually have a picture of. Night Owl, that's a very good point. This is true. Right, because children's faces change naturally as they grow from infancy to toddlers. Their features change, their skin color change, their hair change, hair texture changes. I think most of us know that. So you're right. You have to know exactly whom you're looking for. The info came from the first interview. Listen and watch. You will see he turning his head to the side. That's why we've heard. Yes, I've heard the rumors about an earpiece. But as I tell you, I don't dwell on anything that I've heard on social media. I never have. I just don't dwell on anything that's come from Facebook and YouTube. I just don't. Hi, Rat Miller. How you doing, baby? So, Night Owl says it's premeditation. Thank you all for joining me. I'm praying that this is not a cold case. I'm praying they have something. As I state, they did the search. So something led them there, be it a tip from a human, phone records, computer records. I don't know, because naturally they're not going to tell us those things because they're still investigating. And that's what bothers me is that, wow, by now you would think they'd have something solid on someone, plural, by now. That's what I think bothers me, is they haven't announced someone as a suspect. That's not the boys in the photo. Please go look again. I just said that, Black Queen. I said one of the children is not the two boys. The one standing in the aisle, he looks like one of the children. But the one sitting in the high chair does not look like one of the missing boys. I said that already. I already dropped it. I dropped it at the top. It's at the top of the page. Thank you, Real Deal. Hey, Air Force. Jamie, from my understanding, they have searched other places in Bakersfield. I heard people that live in California that have contacted me. They said they had seen them searching in different places. Just because you don't hear it on the news does not mean they have not searched in other places. They don't announce every place they searched. The police have said that in commentary, that they've searched places. They don't have to give a news release when they search other places. Of course, some of you think like that. You think the police is supposed to tell you when they're going to do a search. Why would they do that? They're not tell you everything. You could hear him whispering. Hi, Dorothy. How you doing? It's at the top because I put it there, Crystal. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. 171 in a room. Thank you so much. No, the father in that rest. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the photo that was uploaded to the news. The picture that obviously Miss West gave to the news. I'm assuming she's the one that gave that picture. It is a picture like they're in a dining hall or somewhere, and there's a small child sitting, I think, in a high chair next to the grandfather. And then there's another small child standing out in the aisle. That's the picture I'm speaking of. Hey, Tanique, how you doing, baby? Yes, Nada. I hope it doesn't take years either. There is a photo with a lot of them at a restaurant. There's different photos of them that was posted to the brother's, Mr. Watkins' Facebook page. There's different pictures of them, different times at the restaurant. But the picture I'm speaking of is of that was in the ABC news release. That's the picture I'm speaking of, where it's the grandfather sitting at the table with one of the children. Hold on. Hey, Elkin, how you doing, sweetie? Thanks for joining me. I think they're going to use code as an excuse to why people haven't seen them, give them away to tell police that's why anyone would have seen them, give them away. They did that interview more for themselves. Yes, Crystal, exactly. Right, not Al. The whole just going to file the report missing with the police to me was a farce in the first place. It's a farce. It's obvious it's a farce because you're now looking into the month, January, February, March. Month 3. We're in month 3, exactly. Month 3 and a day. And it's a farce. It's obvious. Every little thing you do when you report someone missing will be critiqued. How you stood, how you talked, the color shirt you had on, how you spoke. Did you stumble? Did you stutter? Did you sway? How long you stood there, didn't stand. All those things are watched by the public, watched by the police, the FBI, because that is their job. Spectators are going to critique you. You may even be telling the truth, but to someone, they may say, that doesn't sound right, doesn't look right. And everything you do thereafter will be critiqued. How you act, how you interact with the police, how you interact with the public, your daily, routines. What are you doing, not doing? People are going to watch those things. It's normal. I think they put a GPS on his car and maybe he went to that location and that's why they searched that area. Well, Delisha, why would he be going back to that area? To check? Just saying. I really hope at the time of the grandfather's picture, they didn't really kill the youngest child. Then a year later, or sold the other child. This is a very sad. Why would you think they would get rid of them at different times? Interesting. It's interesting. If I were the cops, I wouldn't announce if every time I did, people were showing up like it's get together party. Yes, it's so inappropriate. Poshy poo, it is inappropriate. That's why I've made it clear 1 or 2 times that law enforcement doesn't have to announce when they're having a search. And no one on their platform should have to explain that to anybody else. It's common sense. They're not going to tell you every time they get ready to go do a search. They're getting ready. I guess they're supposed to call the YouTubers first to tell them they're going to go do a search. Maybe the police needs to get their permission. I didn't know that was appropriate protocol. I could be wrong. I think one was abused and they got rid of the other. Okay. Hi, Jane. How you doing? I mean, Poshy poo, I could be so wrong. I didn't know. So the police had to call a YouTuber to get permission of when they were going to go search. That's what a detective thinks of as soon as he wakes up out of his sleep. Well, let me call the YouTuber and tell him, hey, we're getting ready to go over here on 15th Street and exact a search. I'll give you time to get there before I get there. Hey, maybe there's something new they're doing out there. I don't know. I'm just a spectator. Thanks for joining me. I think Wanda knows what happened to the boys along with, yes, I do. Yes. I'm telling you, when you get that picture, just seeing that picture of those kids in that picture, and they're younger, and it's like, who would give this photo? Only somebody who has not seen the kids, who have not recently seen the kids would give that photo. I mean, I'm telling you, that photo they uploaded, that was more damaging than the original photo given to the police. That said a lot. Like, you ain't seen the kids either, lady. So are you the one that they allegedly went to see December 19th, allegedly when they were getting in the van, if we're to believe that? See, Wanda, you told on yourself, homegirl. You and your husband, you told on yourself. Should have never did that interview with ABC News. And you should have never uploaded that photo to ABC News, because now you have involved yourself in the disappearance of 2 small babies. Wanda's trying to protect her son. They will all be hearing the clings. Yes, I hope so, Brittany. Yes. Well, G-Dog, I'm thinking that perhaps that's why they were searching in that field, is because some phone records have come back and they pinged in that location. at some point on their, on their devices. Thank you all for joining. 197 viewing. Thank you so much. Phone records do not take months. My husband is a marshal. You can get them within a few days. Okay, well, that's why I said I was assuming that the records had come back from the phone logs. They cannot even produce a recent photo of these kids they supposedly love. Amen. Yes, it pinged. Yes, I believe that. I believe that's why law enforcement was there in that field searching. The records have come back. Wanda likes to talk in riddles. Well, she has so much time that if she's went for the ride, aided these two demons with these children, they have a nice little place for her out there. There's a lot of water in California, and I am sure that some of their prison facilities possibly have a view of the water. So she could stare out of a window and ponder her part and what she did or didn't do or knew of pertaining to those kids. Okay, Widow Wanda. Nene, stop it. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion pertaining to if you think this case is flatlined, if you think if this case has gone cold, or are they just waiting for something else to seal the deal with an indictment? Yes, no super chats during the live, please. Thank you so very much. That sounds correct, as wasn't the seat and bucket found. I don't know. You all are really stuck on that backyard. Try it again, Crystal. Maybe I missed something, but it is strange that the police have searched the places that the YouTubers have been talking about for a while. I have no knowledge of that, Jane. Okay. I don't know, baby. I don't know, Miss Overdose. I have no idea. I have no knowledge of seats and chairs, and because you just never know. Yeah, at some point, Kate. Yeah, but it becomes redundant, talking about the same subject matter all the time because, with any case, it gets old when you talk about the same thing all the time. You don't have any new viable information, pertaining to the case. People do like to hear, something new, but that's the thing with this case. There's nothing. That's why I said it's like the greatest mystery ever, that nobody has anything to say about these kids. And I just find that odd that nobody has anything, just nothing positive to say about the children themselves, like what type of children they were, what they like to do. I mean, I find it baffling. Nobody has anything good to say about the kids, visiting the kids, seeing the kids, and no one has come up to the news to even speak on behalf of Jacqueline or Trezell as far as their demeanor, what type of people they are, what type of parents they are. I just find it very odd. Yes, they think it's a game. Yes. Yes, this case does stink. Yes, it does. I hope evidence wasn't destroyed after taking so long for PD to search Wanda's house. I think they dropped the ball. Yes, real deal. That's another thing I thought was strange. Them going to the house over a month later. I thought, man, this is not good. And I remember Chief Walker saying that we've searched all the places that Jacqueline and Trezell lived, but that doesn't mean that they searched the parents' home. So something could have been destroyed at these people's home, and we will never know, because if no one went there in the beginning, you understand what I'm saying? You're talking about the adoptive parents, so naturally you're going to be dealing with them, what they were doing, and with the places they lived, the places that they frequent. You're not going to be dwelling on the grandparents. I don't know. It's just very, very sad to me. Yes, thank you all new subscribers and viewers. Thank you so very kindly. Thank the mods this evening. Everything was destroyed from the backyard. So what are you all saying? That you actually believe that something was destroyed at Wanda West's home in the backyard? I know that there are new photos that have surfaced of her backyard being tidied up. So one would have to ask him or herself, why is that yard now tidy? Why are you just now, Miss West, Mr. West, cleaning your backyard? You didn't care about the yard before. Certain folks on the ground were peddling around your home. Now all of a sudden you cleaned it up. That does look suspicious that you would clean up your yard when you didn't care about how it looked beforehand. Very interesting. It was so many people from the public trying to insert themselves in the case. Yes, night out. People who had no right to be saying anything to Wanda West or Jacqueline Giselle, because you're not a detective, so you don't have any business saying anything to them anyway. It's not your place to say anything to them. It doesn't matter if you think they did something to the children or not. It's not your place to be saying anything to them because you don't even know who you're dealing with. I agree. Not one person except for the neighbors at the apartments they lived at, which was all in more of a negative view. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A person can only tell you what they see. If they didn't know them, they can just only tell you what they notice about them. FBI say to search everywhere right away. They don't need warrants. Cost time is most important. Yes, 7 to life. Thank you. Looking at it, Summer. Looking over the fence. Dick Tracy, I doubt that. They had time to speak. They could have spoken day one. What was wrong with speaking day one, day two? You would break your neck for your grandchildren if you care for your grandchildren. You would have been there with your family, your son and daughter-in-law, when they first spoke. That's what most family, that's what they do. They support one another. They get together. You call and say, hey, the news people are going to be here at the house at 4:00. Can you show up to, aid us in this plight that we're on? Our children are missing. I'm drinking water. So it's odd. Like I said, no relatives speaking up on behalf of the children. No one can tell you anything about the kids, their disposition, what type of children they were. I just find all that strange to me. El Canton, not all. Most boots on the ground, as they call themselves. The seats that was taken from the van was burnt. There was 3 different fire departments showed up. Okay, I've heard of it. Yes, y'all are wearing that seat stuff out about the van. I don't know anything about it. I mean, who's going to tell you anything about it? That's the thing about this story. Nobody's going to tell you anything about what you think you saw in a van, outside a van, what you saw in the backyard. Who's going to tell you anything about that? Who's going to tell you why there were burn marks in the backyard? These people are not going to tell you anything. So you can just run wild with the stories and assume whatever you want. In the end, it's not going to matter because there's never going to be anybody that's going to come forward and tell you, yeah, I was doing this with this. They're never going to tell you anything. Never. I wish they had videos of the kids so we could hear their voices. Yes, it would be nice. Hello, Master Fulmana. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Most of the public messed this case up. Yes. Nosy Parkers. Yes. They all laughing at us. Yes. Why not? Remember, I keep telling you, don't ask why, ask why not. That's how a deviant thinks. I could do what I want to do. I did what I wanted to do. You're sitting here trying to figure out where these kids are, and you don't know, and you ain't gonna never find out where these kids are. That's the truth. Thanks for joining me. I've already hit the link. I don't know what else to put down here. It's the same thing. Thank you, Susie. Yes, it is. It's mind-boggling. It's very sad because you just rarely have a case where you don't have any valuable information or somebody, like I said, to speak up on behalf of the parents and the children. It's disturbing, quite frankly. Never seen anything like it. But there are more cases, of course. Many people go missing here in America and abroad, and there are cases where there's no trace of nothing, just nothing. I don't know. This happens every time I put the, link. I don't know. I put the same thing in. If the boys really went Christmas shopping, would Ellie have released the footage because it would be the most recent images of the brothers? Well, like I said, they choose what they want to reveal to the public. So they have their reasons for why they don't tell us or show us anything. Yes, Night Owl, thank you. You have to think like a criminal. Most detectives will tell you that. In order to catch a criminal, you have to think like one. You can't think like a normal civilian because it doesn't work that way. Because if you were going to think like a normal civilian, then you wouldn't have a crime. Amen. I don't know, Crystal. I don't know. This whole case is so sad. These boys need to be found soon. Someone has to know something. Those boys do not just walk away. Are they worried that the social services would see how bad the place looked? I don't know, honey. I wish I could come up. I just get too nervous. Well, don't worry about that, honey. Well, I guess you just have to keep hitting it because it's the same information. Nothing ever changes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We do this every time we go live. It's the same thing every time we go live. Oh, Lord. Sometimes I think this thing changes when I'm up here. Let's try it again. Put another letter. I think this thing changes every time I try putting something in. This is crazy. One second. The two crates that were in the back. Okay. They were at the Cal City house. Well, I think some people have the gift of discernment, such as myself, but I can't see the future. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I can't tell you what lottery number to pick. But I think there may be some people who do have the gift. I can't say for sure. I've heard some people, give renderings of certain things, but I don't put my faith in that because I'm not supposed to. So Night Owl says, sadly, the public gave the criminals a head up. Yes, okay. Hello?
Hey, baby. It's
Hi.
me.
Hi,
It's
sweetie.
me. How are you?
Hi, tell me where you're calling from, sweetheart.
I'm calling from Mississippi.
All right, crooked letter I. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm glad I finally got on here to talk to
Yes,
you.
you for joining me. What do you have to say about the title of the video? Do you think it's Flatlined? What do you think?
You know, I think right now it is flatlined because nobody's talking.
Okay.
Nobody in the family is talking. Nobody wants to talk about these kids, and it's sad. I'm going to tell you what, if these were my grandbabies, I'd be telling you everything I know about them. Everything I knew about my grandbabies. How can you not? How can you not, Queen?
Okay.
It don't make any sense to me. And as somebody in the family, how can you not know where your grandbabies are?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a grandparent, you know where your grandchildren are.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck's going on with this case? It don't make any sense to me.
As Rat Miller said, like they never existed. That's been my point day one.
You're right.
They didn't exist to these people. That's why you couldn't get a valid photo. The grandparents go to ABC News with a picture of the children younger than the one uploaded to the FBI and Missing Persons Bureau. They didn't exist to them. That's why you have grandparents who are null and void. That's why you don't have anybody coming forward to talk about the children. That's why the parents have been elusive to the news, because they don't have anything to say, because they've been done with the kids.
Yeah, and now we got to find out how long. How long have they been done with the kids? Mm-hmm. Isn't that the real question, Queen?
It's scary. It's very, very sickening to me that you would take these children in who needed a place to live, and then you had the audacity to adopt them. That's even more disrespectful. You adopted them,
yes,
and then now poof, gone, voila, magic. They're nowhere to be found. And then you don't even have valid photos to validate their damn age, their actual age. It's sickening to me.
And you know, ma'am, I have to tell you, I actually was ministering to some people at my church, and I ended up with a baby that was not mine. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you what, she's in a really good place right now. Okay. But I can't imagine not having pictures, not knowing where my kids are. What is wrong with people?
But you live like that because you don't care. That's why I said the evidence was there day one. People weren't woke. They already told you they were disinterested in the children.
Yes, it's so true. And I mean, how do you do this for money? I didn't get anything. For the little girl that I had, I got no money. It came all out of my pocket. I did it because I loved her.
Right.
How do they do that? I don't get it, Queen.
But the thing is, this happens every day. That's why I try to tell people this is just one case out of thousands of cases of abused children, neglected children, thrown away children. You know what I'm saying? Missing children. People get their children gone because they don't want to be bothered with them anymore.
Oh my God. I just don't get it.
That's the point of this. They didn't want them anymore. I believe that.
I believe you're right. I believe you're right. Because there's no other.
Yes.
There's no other answer. There's no other answer, Queen. You are exactly right.
And the fact that you're not out here hollering and screaming and falling out and showing out and raising hell and where my babies?
You're right.
No grandparents are hollering and screaming. No aunties, no uncles. Ain't nobody falling out screaming. Don't you find that strange?
Oh yeah, I find that extremely strange. Because I would have done that. I would have done that even for the little girl that I had that wasn't mine. If something happened to her, I'd be screaming and yelling. What is wrong with people?
I have no idea why they adopted them. I understand what you're saying about the money decrease and all that, but the point is, people have various reasons why they do things. So you're thinking in a logical standpoint. As I keep telling you, you can't think from a logical standpoint. Why did they adopt? Why did they do this? You're thinking like an alleged normal human being. These are not normal people, so you can't put any logic behind adopting some kids, then knocking them off, selling them, whatever the hell they did with the children. You can't think logically.
We can't. You're right. We can't think like that because we don't live like that. Queen, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Gulf
And
Coast,
baby,
for
I just
joining
I
me.
just pray for these babies.
Yes,
And
amen.
thank you again. All
Amen.
right.
You
Bye,
be safe,
hon.
okay? Bye, baby. Bye bye. Thank you. That was Miss Gulf Coast from Mississippi. Thank you, sweetie, for joining me. I believe everyone knew they just wanted to check every avenue. Yes, Night Owl's a cruel world. Those people don't show emotion because they are cold-hearted people. It's pure evil. How many people nowadays treat children is yes. But people have been mistreating children from day one, from the day that man was created, woman was created. We know this. We know this. You know, people keep their children and mistreat them. Not everybody has CPS involved in their lives for their children to get taken from them. People raise their children to be 18 years or older, and they mistreat their children, talk about them like dogs, favor their children, abuse their children mentally, physically, sexually, leave them at home all day, leave them outside to play all day, don't watch them, don't feed them, don't clothe them. They own kids, not adopted children. So I say, why are you shocked? Because you're thinking from a logical standpoint. I would never. Oh, I would never abuse a child. I would never. But people abuse children every day. People abuse their own children every day. People kill their own kids every day. Why are you shocked? You can't be shocked. Because we bring you too many stories of children who are mistreated by their parents every day. Their own biological parents, relatives, grandparents, guardians, foster parents, adoptive parents as well. Every single day, a child is abused mentally, physically, and sexually. Every day. So you are thinking from a normal person's standpoint. I would never. And a lot of people get it twisted, thinking because they kept their child that they're special. You're not special because you kept your kid. How are you special? You kept your kid, but you treat your child like a dog. You say nasty things to your children. You talk down to your kids. You criticize your kids. You punish your children harshly. You beat your children. You do things that you would take to the grave about your kids, but you would go out to the street and pretend that you're a good parent. Yeah, Queen, keeping it real. I swear for God, I love mine. But you don't tell people what you really say and do to your kids behind closed doors. This is the very reason why we have tainted people in the world. And I'm going to go ahead and say this while I'm on this live. Perhaps Jacqueline, and this is to make no excuse for anything they did felonious with those children. Let me make that clear. But hurt people from the wise words of Dr. Phil. You see, if nobody ever loved me, nobody ever comforted me, no one ever said kind words to me, then when I hit the street, I don't know to be kind. I may pick and choose when to be kind. Do you understand? But we know that a sociopath is self-serving. He or she is self-serving. So he may like this one here, but he don't like that one there. Children can come from the same mother and father, but mommy and daddy will choose the one that they like, but don't like the other one. Same thing for bringing in an outside child, be it adopted or bringing in just a spare child from wherever. You treat that child worse. Well, why the hell would you bring them in? Self-serving reasons. Self-serving reasons. Foster parents bring in children every day that they do not give a damn about. It is for the money. It is for the clout to say, I'm a foster parent. You like that title because it says something to the world. I am an important being. I am to be revered because I took in somebody's child who didn't want their child. But in the end, you are no different than the person who allegedly didn't want their child or mistreated their child because you are riding on clout and you want to be revered as somebody special. But all in all, you don't give a damn about those kids. It is for clout. It is for how it looks. No, not out. I do not. I do not. I had a foster mom that fed my kid little food. I removed kid immediately. That lady was crazy. Nene, what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying, sweetheart. Yes. People do things for show every day. I think you should know that from being on YouTube. Theatrics. Amen, Night Owl. Amen. The stories you're not going to hear because people are never going to tell you the truth that they mistreat other people's children. As I state, they're not going to tell you they mistreat their own children. The hell they're going to tell you they mistreat a foster child or their nieces and nephews or whoever left their child at their home to take care of. Somebody leave their child with this person, they think they're going to do right by their child. And then you hear the horrible stories of children falling out of windows and locked in closets and locked in basements, not fed and abused mentally, physically, sexually, all type of shenanigans. And that's well for God. Oh, you made a mistake. Well, we know a child can't tie himself up to a bed, chain himself up. Why would a child starve himself, herself? Why would they do that? Makes no sense. And I try not to think about what these two babies went through with all their parents because it makes me sick to my stomach. I don't want to think about what they went through because that will make me feel worse. If I had to just visualize what these children went through from birth up until getting missing, I don't want to think about it. I watched all these interviews where Wanda West and TW, JW, their body language tell everything, and I believe the media family on both sides know what's happened. Somebody knows something. Yes, just me. They painted a perfect parent as well. Yes, and kill their kids. Yes, of course. If you're doing things for the right reasons, you don't need money or praise. You do it because you know it's the right best thing that you can do. Yes, true. Very true. Hi, Shalana. How you doing, baby?
Hey, babes.
Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
All right, you look radiant tonight. My
Thank
commentary
you.
on if I think that this case is going flatline, I think that they are still investigating and receiving evidence. I don't think necessarily it's flatline. I just
Okay.
think they're not going to give as many updates as we would like to have. However, I would like to point out that I think that this was premeditated by the adoptive parents simply because you have no trace of the children. I said this from the very beginning. It's like the kids never existed. No one knows really much about the kids. No, not more than them being in foster care, them taking a few supervised photos. I think if it wasn't for those photos, it wouldn't have been any photos at all. I think it would have just been something done
Yeah,
that only their family knew about.
but they knew they had to,
But
though. You know, they had to because common sense to tell you,
yeah,
not to interrupt you, but you know common sense. If you report somebody missing, no matter who it is, you got to give a
that
photo.
had something. Yeah, but the photos they gave were really non-relevant because you can't search for something that you have no accurate description of.
Thank you. Right, and that's what's messed up. That's what's messed up. You
So
don't even
that's
know
why it
what
seems
you're
premeditated.
looking
Yeah, I
for.
got a few photos.
Yeah, yeah,
Photos.
yeah,
They
yeah,
can't find nobody with these photos because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna age, grow. The kids grow every day.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, that's something that I think that's why I call it premeditated. If you don't have no up to date pictures, then I'm gonna report them missing. Well, how the people gonna search for them? They can't.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. Also, I would like to point out that I stated that this very thing would happen when I said you had people playing detective, and
Hmm.
many enough cases, this is how you give criminals the heads up of what you're thinking.
Hmm.
Because sometimes you can have an idea that the police don't have, that they it might not have crossed their mind, that you can bring to them in secrecy. But the fact that you are so amped up to be on camera or get fame, you
Hmm.
give the criminal all. They looking for a mattress, they looking for a seat, they looking for a fire pit, they looking for a beer bottle, they looking for this. That's gonna get rid of it. Because once again, accusations don't lead to arrest.
Let me say this to Summer. Hold on one second. We don't even know if Orrin and Orson ever existed. Well, we know they existed because there's photos of the said children uh
The right,
with the biological mothers visiting them in CPS custody. And then we also have
right.
these few little photos of the children um
Mm-hmm.
with the West family out to eat and whatever photos that they've uploaded to social media. So the children existed. They were little human beings. The question is, where the hell are they?
And what happened?
And what happened to them? How long they been gone? That's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Who actually had them? No, let's go there. Who had them last? Because we really don't know.
We really actually
Who
don't.
had them last? Where are they?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know these people. And from what we're seeing, they're very elusive people. They're gang
Weird.
players.
Uh,
They're dirty lizards. This
Very.
family. They're dirty lizards. Because they're playing a dangerous game. And they're very lucky that somebody has not popped off and bust them upside their head to the white meat. Keep it 100.
Right.
And I don't condone violence, but I do know that if you hit the right vein, somebody could pop off in any given moment. And if these children actually had somebody that cared for them, first of all, they never got gone in the first place. I'm gonna keep saying that. Don't care. Two, somebody coming along, hey, they care about these kids. Oh, they'd have been
Mm-hmm.
popped off.
Right.
They'd been popped off.
Yeah, they haven't stood a chance since they entered the world. And that's why I meant by when I say that you have to think like a criminal. If I was a criminal, y'all don't watch a lot of Discovery ID. I kept telling y'all this. I've seen cases where people have walked and later, once they were found not guilty, come back and tell you, yeah, I did the crime, but you can't do nothing about it because people talk too much. To think like a criminal, you have to be quiet and pay attention and be strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these people are doing. They know that you're making posts. They know that
Yes, they're
people
watching
think they
everything.
do.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. So why would I not antagonize situation by calling, get rid of evidence, calling whoop to whoop and so to so and tying up loose ends?
Right.
It's months later. Guess what? Still no arrest. Still no arrest. With all of the speculations and all the theories, no arrest.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
the
what's bothering me.
heartbreaking part.
That's what's bothering me because we're month 3, and that's what's
Right.
bothering me, and that's why I
Mhm.
made the title. Do you think it's flatline? Because it's month 3, and you have arrested nobody. Not the butcher, baker, candlestick maker, adopted parents, anybody from the bio side, a stranger, pedophile, whomever. You've
Nobody.
not arrested nobody. So I'm looking like maybe you don't know who did this. Is it just we're still waiting on evidence to get stacked against these people or persons, or you really don't have anything? And that's the scary part is if we're in month 3, I don't want to look up and it's hot boy summer. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And
And
you
we
don't
still
have
are seeing the
nothing
same thing.
on these about these children. This would be horrible. Just
But
horrible.
this is the thing. It's I'm not gonna say it's all necessarily the police department. I mean, you have to deal in facts. And that's what you take to court because you don't want to take them to court and get a not guilty or hung jury or something like that based off of, not having enough evidence, proof, bodies,
Yes.
etc. Because it's a lot to go to court with no bodies. People want proof. This is not CSI. People want hard proof. Otherwise, it'll be just like whatever we've been doing, speculation.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
they are steady getting away because people talk too much,
Yeah.
playing
Well,
detective.
when you want to be seen, you got because you so
Girl,
important. If I didn't know better, I thought it was your child up there that was missing. I said it.
exactly. And this is what I told
And
people
it's not to
before.
throw shade on the children. It's just common sense. You immersing yourself in something that one don't concern you. There's people go missing every day. You not hooping and hollering and falling out and running up to them people doorsteps and they mom and daddy houses over there in Chula Vista. There's a woman missing right now, Chula Vista. Ain't nobody running over there banging on her door and her family and friends' doors. Y'all ain't harassing that man when we can use our imagination and assume he got his wife going. Y'all ain't over there bothering them. I said it.
Exactly. I would like to point out to people I post missing people every single day, especially minorities, because they don't have rewards attached to
Yes, they
them.
don't.
They
That's the
don't have
truth.
a lot of family. Some are Jane Doe's, some are bodies that are still in
Yes,
morgues
that's
in the
true.
80s,
So
70s, and
true.
60s. And if you want to do something, please do that, because
Yes.
more than just with these babies, which we want these babies home, it's a lot of people out here missing that have
Yeah.
no name, nobody fights for them, nobody claims
Yeah,
them,
they're just
and
bones. Bones.
they are
They
bones
bones.
as if they never existed.
As if they never existed. Amen.
If they never existed, and just like Miss Angela, it's the best channel I ever found for these type of stories besides ID discovery. I want to implore you that if you see something, say something. This happens more often than not. I've said it 1,000 times. You know people in your own family that mistreats their kids, and you
Ruben,
will
they
sit
have been
back.
involved. The FBI has been involved. They're letting them take the lead. First Cal City, now Bakersfield. The FBI has been there. They don't have to announce. See, that's the difference. People don't seem to understand about the FBI.
Come,
They
come.
don't have to ride on cloud. See, they not like a regular civilians. They don't got to be seen. They don't got to say, "Well, call our name out because we did this."
We the CIA. We came
That's
in
the
with boats.
civilian.
We went underground. We
That's what
went
civilians do. Hey! Let them know I did this part right here. They
right.
don't work like
Exactly. And this is what I be telling people, like when you muddy up a case, it's so hard for the FBI and the police to do anything
right.
because you muddy up the case. And once a case is
Well,
muddied up, it's hard to
maybe
get it
some of
back
these
on
people
track.
should have went to the academy. They need as they say, we need a few good men for the military and the police department. Ooh, the academy's looking for a few good men and women.
Right.
Just saying.
And take that time and invest it in your community, because I'm telling you, once you muddy up a case, they have to go back and find twice as much evidence for the evidence that's lost.
Yes, yes.
What are you going to do? When you stand outside of people's house, you give them a reason to get rid of what you think is there, instead of letting the police do what the police supposed to do. The LBI can only do so much, which I want them to do, plant evidence.
Look, detective in that word says what? Detect.
Why? It takes a long
That is
time to
their
do it.
job. that,
Evidence don't come back
that is
in
their
30
job.
days, 20 days, 10
Hey.
days, or anything.
Bakersfield is also doing the
And
evidence
it
too.
can go unresolved for years.
That was said in the beginning that they have more manpower, that they also were processing evidence. That was said in the beginning by Chief Walker.
Right. But everybody ran the folks down, and the man said in the beginning he suspect foul play. I don't know what more
Yeah.
people want.
And as he made that clear, foul play can mean an array of things, not necessarily, death, but
Yeah.
an array. So I'm glad he did say that, because sometimes when we think of foul play, we naturally think of death. But he means, suspicious behavior.
Correct. So it's in plain sight, but like I said, once you muddy up cases, you get yourself involved, and ain't no valuable tips, it can flatline. And unfortunately, it's like we're at a standstill.
Okay.
Out of all
Aquarius,
what we've spoken about, we're like at a standstill with this case.
Aquarius 63 said, can't they charge them with child neglect for leaving them outside by themselves in the cold? I don't know, Aquarius. I think that should have been the first charge. I'd have been charging. They need to do them like they did Megan Boswell. That was their first charge against Megan Boswell. Because see, they
Mm-hmm.
obviously did
That
their
was a sad
homework.
case too.
They studied everything. When they found that baby in that shed, they knew, oh yeah, you knew all along. You put that baby there, and then you got us hooping and hollering and running around searching for this kid, and we all up in Virginia, North Carolina, and that baby was in this shed in Tennessee the whole damn time. Yeah, homegirl, we arresting you, and I'm glad Tennessee put her down. And they put her in that jail. And they put her there rightfully so, because she the one put that baby in that shed. And if she didn't put the baby there, the mother relatives, somebody did it, but I believe Megan did that because she lied. Everything come out of her mouth was a lie. And skinning and grinning during her interviews. I don't go to Mendoza myself. You know, she knew damn well that baby wasn't in no Mendoza, in no trailer park.
Baby, wasn't you a
Just
weird
a
talk?
liar. Just a little liar. That's a lying old female. She's disgusting. Just a disgusting being. I can't wait till they have her
Need to
trial.
be burned at the stake.
I cannot wait. If I could go up there myself and have a seat, I'd camp outside the courthouse for that one.
And
She's
these are
disgusting.
people, one in a trillion that's out here that have children in their custody. So, like I said, it happens more often than not. It's a lot of
Yes.
unknown stories,
Yes,
unresolved stories.
that's why I was saying there's countless of stories of children
Yep.
and people missing, and they do not have a voice.
No
Some people
advocate,
don't
no
have a
nothing.
voice. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that was my commentary on it. I'm gonna go back in the chat.
Thank you, Night Owl. Thank you so much, honey.
You're welcome.
Okay, baby. Bye bye. That was Night Owl from Mississippi, crooked letter I. Ah, that's my mod. Just me. Well, that's the thing. We don't know what's going on with these crazy people. Bat K, possibly so. Somebody could have committed the perfect crime. Yes, very disgusting. I can't wait either. I'll be watching. Oh yes, I want to be front row and center. It's just up the highway from me. I would love to be there every day. But because of COVID, they may not have, spectators in the courtroom. But I would love to be in the courtroom. I just want to look at her. I just want to look at her. And as one of my viewers said, they wrote her a letter. I told this viewer, why? Why would you write Megan Boswell a letter for what? She ain't talking about nothing. I keep trying to tell y'all, why you keep wanting to get involved with these sick people? Want to write them letters and get in their inboxes, and why do you want to ride in with the devil? It's very baffling to me. When you want to immerse yourself in these cases, you don't know these people. I said it 1,000 times when this case jumped off. Why are you in the inboxes trying to talk to Wanda, trying to talk to Giselle and Jacqueline, Jamal, whoever? Why in the world would you want to do that? Why? Who are you that you feel like you have a right to go inbox these people? Some of you may get offended. I don't really care because you don't have any business inboxing these people. Leave them alone. That's the detective's job, the FBI's job. And I ain't getting ready to write no damn letter to nobody that killed no damn little baby. For what? I got nothing to say to you. Or nothing to say to you. Yeah, not out, right. Fascinations with killers. For what? You gonna write somebody a letter to tell them, I don't like what you did, and I know you killed that baby girl, and blah, blah, blah. They don't care about what you talking about. She took that letter and read it and threw it in the garbage can. She don't care nothing about you. She's a sociopath. She care about you, what you think she did with her kid. Some of y'all, not well, not right, no killer. About what they did to their baby. Or Susie or Pookie or Ray Ray or whoever. I don't got nothing to say to you. I'll wait till the producers decide they want to make a documentary about you, and I'll watch it on TV. Hit the like button, down button. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't trying to call you. I don't get in your inbox, talk to you. I ain't writing you no letters in jail. Ask you why you killed your kid. For what? I don't have that kind of mindset. Don't know. Go Coast. Don't know. Oh, Goose said, right. So crazy. Same thing with people who write Chris Watts. Yeah, well, keep writing them. What do you have to say to Chris Watts? Now, that's off the subject, but it's... Oh, come on. What do you have to say to that fool? Please explain to me. Enlighten me. Night Owl, they fall for killers. I mean, what do you have to say to Watts? He killed his whole family. What in the world do you have to say to this thing? He's a thing. He's a bottom feeder. You want to talk to him about what exactly? Why'd you kill your family? Why were you cheating on your wife? That was a horrible thing you did. Why would you plot the deaths of your family and baby girls? He don't care nothing about what you saying. Ain't y'all figure that out? Come on. Come on now. Jesus. Gee, what is wrong with you people? Yeah, a sociopath's going to talk to you in a letter. He's going to go spend his commissary for a stamp to respond to a random stranger across the country about why he killed his family. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Man, please, I can't take it. Just Me said young baby's been gone since June or July. Some of these men get married, divorced, and marry again behind bars. Well, Chris Watts can marry a mannequin if he wants. He ain't going nowhere. Yeah, well, good luck being a therapist. See how it works. These people don't care about anything. Just leave them alone. Just leave those people alone. Makes no sense to be writing serial killers and baby killers and wife killers, husband killers. For what? I don't have that type of fascination to be writing no killer, no letter. I'm afraid these children will never be found and no one will be held accountable. Well, Deborah, we just have to pray that they have some evidence. We just gonna have to pray, honey. Them boys have been gone, I feel, since June. Okay, just me. I hear you. I don't know. I don't know when they've been gone, to tell you the truth. I don't know what to think anymore. Because, like I said, the police, FBI are not bringing any information that, can give us a timeline of when the children were last in their custody. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to have something. And naturally, they're holding out because it's an open investigation. So I get that. Hi, Squizzy. How you doing, baby? I can see somebody trying to marry, him just to be on the news. Oh, please stop. No, just me. Two neighbors have them on camera. Ruby Ray, you're just wearing that out about them neighbors. Well, some people think they're suspect. How about that? Them kids is not on camera in Cal City. 4 of them are, but not. What'd she say? Not the what, baby? Not the babies. How can you live with yourself after knowing the terrible things you've done to them? Heartless, yes. And these people are so ignorant. They don't realize they are telling murderers where they live. Stupid. Yes, amen. I'm good. You beautiful queen. Yes, exquisite. Would you like to come up here and give your commentary, sweetheart? Hey, Nene. Well, this is how I feel. After the information I've learned, the information I brought you with the aliases and all these damn jack-in-the-box people on Aspen Avenue, I don't trust nothing that's come out. I don't trust nobody on that street. I don't trust nobody. I don't trust Jacqueline Giselle, they mammy, daddy, grandpa, Pookie, Ray Ray, third cousin. I don't trust none of these people. Some of them might have some good family members, whatever. I'm talking about the immediate stuff that's come out here recently in the past 3 months. I don't trust nothing pertaining to Aspen Avenue, Rosamond, California, Bakersfield, California. You want to throw Tehachapi in there? Good. Throw it in there too. I don't trust nothing about none of these people because we don't know these people. We don't know nothing about them. And like I said in my previous videos, when I brought you the information pertaining to all these different aliases, I never said these people had any involvement with the children because I don't know. I'm not out there. I can't say I'm not a mind reader. But all I'm saying is it's just too much hanky-panky coming out pertaining to Jacqueline and Trezelle, the neighbors, this and that. Who knows what? I don't know. Who did what? I don't know. It's just all wacky, weird, suspicious, creepy, all these different aliases and this and that. But see, that's to be expected. When you're dealing with true crime, you're dealing with a crime, alleged crime, other stuff can pop up. May not have nothing to do with the kids, but it just could be some other felonious activity. You understand what I'm saying? You hear that all the time. People who, immerse themselves in a case may have had nothing to do with the children, but they may be doing illegal things, and then it comes out. Oh yeah, they was, identity fraud, selling drugs, trafficking drugs. I mean, whatever. It happens. You hear it all the time. Oh yeah, that guy that was on the news, he was giving his 411, 211. Child, he was doing this, he was that, he was, or she. You don't know. Because you don't know any of these people. You don't know these crazy people. Onion. Yes, Summer. Exactly. Layer after layer after layer. Amen. That's the truth. That was the play data. Perhaps. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Dragnet. Girl, don't start. This is the most baffling case, I'm telling you. I've never seen a case. I'm sure I have, but it's just not, a recollection. This case reminds me just of like the kids never existed. Like you're looking at photos of these two babies, and there is nobody that can tell you when they were last seen. It is the sickest thing, man. And it pisses me off. Now, I'm not believing nothing about what somebody said they saw some kids. All them folks on that street, most of them folks on that street ain't nothing but a bunch of pathological lies. How the hell you going to believe somebody when they can't even give you their damn government name? Don't get me started. Please, stop it. Just stop it. I'm not getting ready to listen to nobody that can't even give their government name. You can't give your government name. You're not a United States citizen. You can't tell me nothing about them kids. You can't tell me nothing about no DBR, no surveillance. You are null and void too. You all believe what y'all want to believe, but don't bring it over here because I don't want to hear all that crazy foolishness. Take that to another YouTuber. I'm not interested. Hey baby.
Queen.
How you doing this evening? Thanks for joining me, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. Still.
So, are we talking about a flatline or they just stacking evidence? What you think?
I think it's a flat line, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I think they, like I said, I just think they went back to Bakersfield and all the rest of them little last places just to shut everybody up. But they better start checking into more out there in Bakersfield, because there's been a lot going on, and I'm like, I don't know what to think at this
Tell
point.
me what you think. Just shoot straight from the hip, baby. Tell me what you think.
I just think that they killed them, and they gonna ride with it until they get caught.
Until somebody pop up with something concrete to say, I got you.
Yeah, they not gonna come telling on themselves. So as they can see, like he said in the interview, he don't understand why law enforcement even did a search warrant. Like, what do you mean? It's an investigation of your kids. Wouldn't you? It's just I'm praying that it's not a flat line, but we gonna keep on pushing it out there. But they ain't nobody saying nothing. Like I said, I think if just one of them get locked up, Trezelle or that adopted mom, then somebody gonna start talking. But until then, it's kind of like, why the police can't even say, well, they saying no evidence, but it's something not right. Something they got to be working with the police or something, because they got to be leading them on a wild goose chase. Because too, where are they getting all this other information from to go over here, go over there, go look here, go do this?
Well, I think that some of the evidence has come back from the lab, such as the phone records.
Okay.
I think they put a rush. I think they put a rush because this is high priority. We're dealing with 2 babies. So I think they put a rush on that information. And then too, you got to remember the FBI has better technology than regular, civilian police department. So I think those records came back. And I think that's what led them to that field over there. Or was that near Casaloma? A few miles from Casaloma? Yeah. I think that.
This is like I said, it's weird. It's real strange.
Like somebody said in the chat, it's like a TV movie.
Right. Like, is it for real or is it not? Is someone just put that out? Well, we
Yes,
know.
Joelle, yes. Yes, Esther phone. Yes.
That it's really missing boys, but it's kind of like,
Yes.
is it a hoax or?
I thought that too, because I said that. Someone said that probably 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said this is a hoax. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I have heard this years ago about the devil. That the biggest hoax ever known to man was the devil proving to man that he did not exist. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he's probably tried doing for thousands of years. Don't believe what God says. I am an angel.
Right.
I have not been cast into hell in a pit. I am real. I am not Satan.
Yeah,
that's what I think of with this case. It is the biggest farce thus far because you don't even know what you're listening to. Right. You've got photographs of children when they were itty bitty spiders. You have nobody that's come forward to say, hey, I saw the kids yesterday. I saw the kids 2 days ago. They were doing good. They look good. They look healthy. Yeah. Mamas, grandmamas, nobody's talking on behalf of the children. Nobody rallied with these 2 buffoons to the news. Nobody's come forward thereafter to speak on their behalf or against them. Nobody has come forward as a co-worker, friend, neighbor to say, yeah, woo, to the news. I ain't talking about YouTube. I'm talking about to the news. Viable news sources. Nobody has come forward.
The neighbor that had the camera, it's like, it's like, why they went that far to say, oh, we seen them on camera and this and that, but they should have went back more days by now and gave that evidence to somebody. They hurry up and rushed it out there then, or the police should have been going over there going back checking days. Now that's actually where the evidence can really come from, if going back and forth. Now how long you think somebody gonna stay in a house with all them kids? You got to go out and get some food or do something. Like them kids, if they went out in that backyard that one time, why would they not be on camera going out there any other time?
Well, what you got to always remember is that the fence is high. So even if the children were there, no matter what child was there, you're not going to see them because the fence is high and the children are smaller. So you can't see under the fence because the fence is too high and the fence is taller than the children. So anything could have been crawling back there, a monkey, a cow, whatever. You ain't going to see it because the fence is high. You don't know if the children will ever go back there and play. The children could have played back there, but you're not going to know it because the fence is too high for a camera. Now, if there was no fence, you could then say, well, we looked day 1, day 2, day 8, month 1, month 2. Never saw children, cow, monkey, dog. Well, see what I'm saying?
At night, you can see like a glare. You can see a glare from that camera. I mean, from the light. Like you was able to see nobody went back there, or no. What am I trying to say? Shadow of anything. Yeah. You can actually see a good shadow, and you never did. Just like we never did see a shadow. I kept looking at the video to see a shadow of Jacqueline walking back there. Never seen the shadow.
Nene makes a good point. On video, we can't assume those were the children, just children. Amen. Now that is the truth. Come on with it, Queen. You said that's a very valid point. A figure is a figure. So if I spun the web, I got 6 kids. How I know who children I saw on the video getting in and out of a van?
But then where the other 2 kids at, they can question who was watching your other 2 kids.
Okay, and that's what I want to know, because when Chief Walker gave that information, he left a big gaping hole open that I'm surprised nobody said. The little newscaster, because I don't want to call one of them by their damn name, but you didn't think to say, well, Chief, if the children went over here to the grandmama house, whichever grandmama we speaking of, what did Jacqueline Giselle tell you where the two were? Because if I told you I dropped 4 off at my mother's house or mother-in-law's house, what answer did I give the chief about where the 2 were, considering it was 2 days before I filed a missing persons report? Chief ain't never spoke about that.
That's what they seem like they could have been going.
That's why I tell everybody, stay woke. That's why, look, they already know they guilty. They just can't say it to the news.
I think they just gonna go pick them up and be like, you know what, we arresting you on the suspicions of, but when? When is it gonna happen? If it don't happen,
right? No, that's the part that's bothersome. It's the when. Exactly.
Yeah.
When? Because we're waiting. We're out of breath. You know what I'm saying? We are out of breath.
Anxious and already went through the sleepless nights of trying to figure out where could the boys be, or waking up. It was like a nightmare when I first started watching it. Like,
yeah.
Dang.
G-Dog, you straight. Me and him copacetic. We copacetic.
All of and by now the mom should be talking. She really should be all over the news talking, but that's another situation.
But nobody's saying nothing. Bio or the adopter. Yeah. I said, well, you know, like I tell people, I always read between the lines. Stay woke. Instead of judging and crying and moaning and cussing and fussing and, you know, sneaking and infiltrating and all that, why don't you stay woke to what's the information been given to you? Why you can't stay on board to realize your friend ain't your friend? That everything you've been saying, there's a reason why this story came to fruition. There's a reason why these children got placed with the West. There's a reason why the West got rid of them. Stay woke.
Man, this is crazy. This is
you worried about the platform. Why don't you worry about them parents? Why the hell they ain't want their kids?
They never stood a chance with them, and
they never stood They never stood a chance. And anybody that think they did, you are living in a bubble and you are bobblehead and something is mentally wrong with you. And you, to me, are cut from the same damn cloth that got the kids missing, that got the kids to the West. Because I don't make excuses for no babies. These are babies. They didn't ask to come here. They didn't choose their parents. They didn't choose their foster care parents, and nor did they choose the West. They're innocent victims.
Man, this is sick. It's just all like
it's sick.
All over money. It's crazy. All they looked at them kids for. I guess they said, "Sure, ain't no more money coming in. What they gonna be talking about them for?"
But like they said, if it's about the money, you adopted them. You knew that your stipend would get cut once you adopted them, because the pay goes down. Allegedly, when you adopted children, the state still pays. California pays your stipend up until 18. So that was your choice. You didn't have to adopt them if it was an issue of the money. So one could also say, well, they must have cared about them. Why would they adopt them? But then one could flip the coin and say, I adopted them so I could do what the hell I wanted to do with them in the end. Shut your mouth.
And a steady income. Steady income.
Right. But listen, if I got felonious reasons to get rid of you, I'll adopt you and I can do what I want with you thereafter.
Right.
Now you follow? Because see, that's been the arguing point with many people. Well, Angela, why would they get less money if they adopted them? So one would think, well, they had to care. They knew they were going to get much money if we're going to dwell on the fact that this is a money racket. But see, you're not looking at the bigger picture. Once I adopt you, I can do what I want to you. Do you understand?
That's easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, make me look at all kind of. I mean, it's bad, but when you hear parents say, "Kid is foster now," I'll be like, "Ooh, man!" Like, I'll pray for them kids over there. Like, everybody not like that, but I didn't see.
I don't know, Sharon. I don't know about the deaf situation. Who's deaf? Who ain't? That's been up for grabs as well. That they wasn't deaf. I don't know, baby. I just don't know.
Well, yeah, I just came on to say something. I'm gonna step down in a chat. This is really sick. It's just
Yes, Dream. You have to think
it
about
makes
the
us
criminal.
more
It's
closer
depressing
to our
because they're
kids.
babies. You know, to be sitting here month 3 talking about these itty bitty spiders and they didn't ask to
Right.
be here. They didn't choose this for themselves. Who would choose this? Who would choose this? Who would choose this for their life at 3 and 4? Nobody.
I tell you, we all know where they going though. When they leave
Amen.
here.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Even if they come
Crystal, you in the
back,
chat?
say you still
Yes. Yes. And it's
well, I'll talk
sad.
to you later, Queen.
Okay, love you, Exquisite. Thank you so much for speaking, baby doll.
Love you too.
Okay, baby. Be safe.
All
Thank you,
right,
sweetie.
thank you.
Okay, that is Miss Exquisite, West Coast. Sharon said special needs kids get SSI. Yes. Yes, Shalana, exactly. Yes, you have to think like a criminal. See, a lot of you been thinking like civilians, normal civilians, alleged normal civilians, but you can't think like a normal civilian when you're dealing with the devil. This is the devil's word. Crystal, would you like to weigh in? Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Doug. Anybody want to hit the link to give their opinion? If you've been in the chat talking with us, please feel free to hit the link. I'll let you up to give your opinion. Do you think this case is flatlined? Or do you think they're still stacking evidence to bring forth an indictment plus plural? Yes, the devil. This is the devil's work. Anytime you're talking about missing children, you don't have any information. Police can't bring nothing because they don't want to tank the case by revealing too much. This is the devil's work. The devil got it started. Love you too, baby. This is nothing but the devil's work. This is Satan himself orchestrating these children. Lord have mercy. I get emotional when I think about these babies, man. Makes me sick to my stomach. Hi, baby.
Hi, love. How are you?
You do. I want to apologize to you the other night. You didn't get to talk because I was fooling with my brother and laughing and talking. I was looking at part of that live just now, and I said, I ain't getting let my baby speak.
No.
I was
Okay.
laughing with them and talking. I apologize. We'll do a part. Look, we'll do a part 2. Oh, here come Queen. Oh, here come my other baby Noah. It's my night.
Hey,
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 Queen.
where you been? You been fishing? Where you been, Queen?
you know I fell out for a second.
Girl, you is so. I'm so tired of you. You know what? I got a surprise for everybody. I'm getting ready. You know I'm gonna be leaving Tennessee for a little while.
No, don't leave me here.
Yeah. I'm going out west.
Oh, okay. Handle your business.
I'm handling my business. Yes. Queen got some things. She getting ready to make some moves. So we gonna be going out west for a while.
Okay.
Yes. But Crystal, tell me what you think. Flatline or no?
I think that it's getting there. The reason why I say that is because of I noticed that a lot of searches have slowed down. There's not as many searches. There's not. I don't see the coverage that I did before.
2 weeks ago, you mean when they did the searches that you heard of? But you remember what they said? They're not gonna tell us every time they do no search.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but not just that, not just the authorities, but boots on the ground that they want to say. I've only seen one that's been staying with it, and I watched that person a day. But other people, I haven't. They haven't been out there, so to me, I see it slowing down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not moving, Masterful. I'm just going to be going out to take care of some business. Yeah. Just taking care of some grown folks' business. That's all.
Well, hey, everybody that's saying hey to me in the chat. Hey,
Hello,
y'all. I just been on a little vacation. I'm still here. Just on a little vacation, y'all.
Yeah. You on vacation, show enough.
Yeah.
Look, don't get me laughing at you. Oh Lord,
Angie
you
knows
on vacation?
I am on vacation for real.
What? Good. What you talking about? Oh, honey, I'm not leaving you. I'm just getting ready to go have me some fun. That's all. Queen getting ready to live. I've got an invitation, and I'm getting ready to take them up on their invitation. Queen getting ready to live, baby. Look,
Have your fun.
ain't got but one life, baby. I'm getting ready to live. Amen. As soon as I tidy up some stuff here in Tennessee, I'm gone. And whatever happens out west stays out west. Yes, honey.
I'm not going nowhere, Jane. I'll probably upload a video tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Goose. Thank you. Okay, so Queen, flatliner, no.
I believe the case is flatlining.
Okay.
I believe the case is flatlining. There's no updates. Nothing been going on pretty much. I don't see people out there really searching. Yeah, I did see No Thanks or Doug upload something today.
What did he upload? He in the chat. What did he upload?
Was searching. Hello, Doug.
Yes.
He was looking in some areas for the kids on the orchard. But I just don't see as many people out there, searching.
Yes.
They were before.
But you got to remember, what are you searching for? You don't know anything because you don't know these people. It's not to be rude or facetious. It's just that you don't know Giselle and Jacqueline. You don't know their family. You don't know their dynamics. You don't know their whereabouts. You don't know how they live. You don't know the children. So how can you go search for something when you don't know anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to search when you don't know what you're looking for. You have no idea. You don't know these people. They could have went and dropped the kids off in Oregon, Washington, cross country. We don't exactly know what we're looking for. What happened to them when you last had them? So let's do this. What if we're talking about a year before they got gone?
Mm-hmm.
How the hell you know where you're going to go look?
I think we're looking. I think we're looking for bodies.
Yes, we are. I believe that. Yes.
I think it's a recovery. It's a recovery effort now.
Yeah. That's what I think we're looking for.
Oh Lord, G-Dog say the calm before the storm. Amen.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
We're looking for. And it is true. We do not know where we're actually looking.
Yeah, because you don't know these people.
Because we don't know.
There's a difference if somebody actually came forward and said, I last saw him, heard them, those yesterday, 2 days ago. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's solid. But that's the thing about seeing somebody. I'm not going to be walking around with a camera if I just saw you at Target or Walmart. You understand what I mean? I'm not going to be filming you if I say, yeah, I just saw them at the gas station yesterday. Hell, I ain't going to be filming that. Why would I be filming that? No reason to.
Right, but I think, like I said, if we knew what the police knew, if we knew where the phone pings at, where all they been, and if they was getting the video footage of where the phone pinged at, where they been, we would know a little bit more where to look. But we don't have that information, so
right.
This case is just not going nowhere. I think it's really just flatline.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Queen.
I just don't know.
When they went and searched in that rural area, remember that 2 weeks ago? Do you think that came from phone? Do you think the phone logs came back?
Yes, I do believe that the phone logs did come back. I do believe.
Okay.
Because I think it could take like what? If they put a rush on it, it could have taken like up to 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, somebody said a couple of days. Some lady in the audience said she's married to U.S. Marshals. So,
like I said, it depends if they put a rush on it or whatnot.
Well, and that's what I just said that I think they did. Because you got to think about California is a big state, so they got all kind of crime going on. So I think somebody put a rush on the phone logs because, like I said, that's a big state.
Mm-hmm.
And you got all that crime, and depending on the lab or labs they use for all their forensics and stuff, if they'd have to put a rush to say, hey, this is top priority. We need to try to get some information about these children. We need to put a rush on, anything you can give us because we need to solve, we got to find out something about these babies. So I can see authorities telling the labs, plural, put a rush on this, said information about these children.
Okay, yeah. So other than that, I see them doing
Right,
that,
real
but
deal.
still, I don't see Bakersfield going anywhere other than the place they recently searched to search anything else. So that leaves us pretty much nowhere.
What she said, my husband said he can get records within days, especially because we're talking about months ago records. Okay.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. This is the thing. Okay,
what are you talking about?
let me say this. Okay, we only seen Bakersfield search what? We only seen them several warrant, a search warrant at Wanda's house.
Mm-hmm.
We seen them search over there, not too far from Potomac and Aspen. Was it the location near both of the locations?
Yeah, their house,
Okay.
Wanda's house, and Casa Loma. It's all close proximity.
Them the only two
Yes.
places that I've seen that we're aware of that Bakersfield search. So other than that, where are they searching if the phone records did come back? I don't see them searching nowhere else.
Well, they did some searches, like I told you. Somebody, gave me information from California.
Oh yeah, I
They
know
were
about the
searching.
water. Yeah, I heard about the water.
Yeah, and so somebody
near
would
the
argue
water.
about they didn't search over there. Well, I'm sorry, Shamika, they didn't call you to tell you that they searched. They got to call you to tell you they searched, and I didn't know they needed permission for people on
This
social
is
media to
the
tell
thing.
them. Damn,
They didn't search the water yet, but they searched over there near the water
crazy
area.
ass bats.
There was
Excuse
some
my language.
water. There was some
Yeah.
water near where they searched, right, Crystal?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when is we gonna check the landfills? When are we gonna get to the landfills? When we gonna
That would be the first place
You
I
know
would
what?
have said, Queen. I'd have checked that first.
when we gonna get to the water? When we gonna get to the water? When we gonna get to the landfills? And what about the trip, the location?
Mona talking bad about me. She said, "When you in these names, I'm gonna call you whatever your mammy didn't want to call you. Shamika, John, Johnny Boy. Hello, John Boy. Good night, Ma. Good night, Pa. You know how.
What about Ray Ray and Pookie?
They sleep. They sleep up no thing. You crazy. Okay, what you say, Queen? I'm sorry.
Okay, so when we gonna search the landfills? When we gonna put divers in the water? And when are we gonna search along from Bakersfield to California where they could have drove to drop off bodies?
I ain't gotta search there. What Chief told you in the beginning, I ain't gotta search there. I told y'all stay woke.
Okay, we hear that, but we gotta stay woke too, because the police ain't. I mean, what?
But did it ever occur to you? Hello, Queen. They already know something.
Yeah, they may know something, but we still waiting, and it's nothing.
Yeah, and that's what's
Queen.
the problem.
Can I jump in, Big Ange? I don't mean to cut you off, Queen.
No, go ahead. Come
They're
on,
gonna know. They know a lot, and thank you for having me up. Thank you for having me up, and Queen. Hello, Crystal. Much love and respect to all you guys.
You too.
I'm gonna have to say that again. There's a gag or shut up order going on, and they're doing the things that they're supposed to be doing since the beginning of this case, and that they haven't done, and there's too many investigators out there that are thinking that they're more investigators than they are stalkers or harassers, and what they're doing is preventative maintenance, I think, and I think they're doing what they need to do to get circumstantial evidence to prove, if they don't find bodies, that they could still put these on, put the case on somebody, and they're not letting that information out because there's too many people following the West around, following the Bio family around, or the Bio family is following the West. I don't really know how that's going, but I believe that what they're trying to build is a circumstantial evidence case right now in case there aren't bodies recovered. Yeah. They still have something, and they're not going to arrest people for drug charges or traffic charges or this or that, because then they'll get out and they're going to ruin their chances. So they don't want them to run away. That's how I feel about it.
I get that, because I speak about that on my channel, about them, getting all the evidence together, making sure it sticks. So when they do make an arrest, so what we just waiting on what? Because it looks like it's a standstill still.
I think we've screwed enough up. I think that a lot of people have screwed enough up in this case and directed and redirected narratives to where they don't want a narrative out right now. They want to do what they need to do as a police task force. And again, I'm hoping they're doing everything they can. The FBI, Bakersfield Police, Cal City still on this thing. I hope they're all doing enough to where they don't screw it up again.
Does anyone think that the public has messed up, possibly have destroyed evidence, from everyone being all in the business and being in the areas and whatnot? Do you believe that?
Do I or anybody else?
Yeah, anyone on the panel.
I believe that yes. I don't want to say me in personal, but again,
Yeah.
I don't even know. But again, I haven't crossed the line or any limits that I don't think would have screwed it up. Other
Yeah.
people may have. I'm not going to shoot them down or say anybody's names, but I believe that there's too much people in the mix that you've seen have drop off the case or drop back to the back of the
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Where I'm looking for live and dead bodies.
Okay.
And that's all we can do. We can, it's 50-50 to me right now. And all we can do is hope for the best and pray for the best and expect the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And again, I believe it like everybody else does at this point. It's a recovery case. And if it's not a recovery case right now, things that people are doing to prevent them from coming home or being dropped off somewhere could make it to a case where they're deceased, even if they're alive at this point. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that person's gonna get nervous or whatnot. It's whoever.
And you'll notice not a lot of people are posting about this stuff anymore because I'm sure they've been talked to already.
This is my thing. I think that the kids have been gone longer. Okay. So even with the kids being gone longer, whatever they did to them or whatever evidence that they had.
What's longer? What's longer? Give us a time frame so we can kind of give a longer. Is it 1 day, 2 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? If you think they're gone longer, then give us what you feel.
They could have possibly been gone longer, like for up to a year.
I'd have to disagree with that.
You can disagree all day. That's fine.
I'm just saying because they've been seen within the year. You're saying that they haven't been seen.
Who? Where is that at? Who said that? And what proof is that?
Well, I'm just going to say there's family members and people I'm not going to throw under the bus that I'm sure other people have talked to that have seen the kids with them.
But that's hearsay because nobody has been able to come out and say they've seen exactly Orrin and Orson at any locations. Nobody's been able to give us that. That's why nobody knows how long the kid's been missing.
Are you saying give us that or give the cops that? Because I'm going to tell you there's other people that know a lot more than we do. And I believe that I know somebody who has given the cops that. And I'm not going to disclose that, but I'm going to tell you I can discredit on my thoughts on that. I'm just saying you're that's your opinion. It's my opinion. And not to down you or anything, but I can tell you I probably have a little bit closer of somebody that is trying to help out. And they're connected to the families. So and that's the best the best I can say.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying, but far as what we know, because see, I'm a part of the public. See, I don't know who you connected with or anything of that nature. So that's what you said another person has informed you of. See, we are on the outside looking in. We don't know anything. So we're waiting on law enforcement. We're waiting on other.
I'm looking for bodies right now. I'm looking for bodies right now for a reason. Just put it that way.
Well, I've always said from the beginning I thought they was possibly deceased. So I've been, knowing it was a recovery mission. But what I'm saying is nobody's been able to come out and say when last time. You have the police saying they're waiting for, and this is the police, that came out and they said anybody who has seen the kids in the last year.
Yeah.
So
but that was after that was prior to their last statement where they put out that from BPD about they're not going to release information about the warrants and this and that and what they found or what they didn't find.
Right, but this is what they're saying. They're waiting for somebody, even the doctors. That's letting us know for the last year nobody has seen them. If you read it between the lines, as far as us and the public, I'm speaking of us. Not the people that's close to anybody know anything, but us. That's what, when Beckersville took over the case, that's what he said.
How old were your kids? How old were your kids when you first took them to the dentist?
They was like one. That was a year old.
Right. So a lot of times there's X-rays, there's other things done, and things that can identify them. Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mona, what are you talking about? About somebody. We don't know these people, and don't nobody in the chat know them that I know. What you talking about?
I can't see the chat, so I don't know what's going on. But
You don't want to, because I'm
back
not.
when I was in, I mean, I think it's possible that they've been gone longer because nobody has been able to provide a sighting. I don't know what you know, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, for us in the public, we know it's possible the kids have gone longer, and I think possibly up to a year. And hearing what Bakersfield even said, what I've already thought that was gone longer, it could have been up to a year. From months up to a year. I
see
already
now see that makes a lot more sense to me. Than haven't seen a year or out, before
I didn't
that,
say a year
it
out.
just
I said up to a year.
yeah, up to a year
said
makes
over.
more sense than a year out. You know what I mean? A year out is longer than a year. I would say
Right.
that
I
it was.
never said a year out. That's what I'm saying. I never said a year out.
I thought you just said that. I'm sorry.
No. I said it could have been up to a year.
Yeah, no, yeah, it could have been a couple days before, a couple weeks before, a couple months before, but I wouldn't go as far as a year.
Listen,
just because they're
Up
asking for
to a
that. I
year
think they're asking for people. I think what they're reaching for is somebody to come through that's seen them in the last year and wants to find out more about how the West treated them, how the Bio family was, how this was, how that was. I think what they're looking for is more circumstantial evidence to kind of pin something on somebody. And I'm not saying even on the West, but I'm thinking they're looking for different evidence on that aspect.
Right, and I get everything that you're saying. I perfectly understand everything you're saying. All I'm saying is I've been thinking they was gone for months up to a year, and then even with nobody being able to say they've seen exactly on or seen any known sightings, that's what led me to believe it could have been up to a year. Nobody seen the kids. Then on top of me already feeling that way and observing everything and listening to all the the news and the sources and everything. And then Bakersville asking for anybody who has seen his kids in the last year, doctors, anybody. That's why it makes a stamp onto what I've already believed.
Can
That's
I
my
ask,
opinion on it.
Big Ange? Can I ask you? Can I ask something that's kind of maybe out of the box or something? Like, is that okay with you?
Everybody has their own opinion, just as long as everybody's respectful. But let me say something to Mana. Let me say something to you. What are you talking about with a leg healing? Who you addressing? My members on the panel? Who you talking to? That's what I want to know. Who you referring to about a leg healing? That incident happened allegedly when one of the children was 3 months old. So who are you addressing that question to? That's what I want to know. Y'all come here and
I
get
don't
jiggy
even
if you
see
want.
the comment.
Y'all
It's a good narrative. It's a good narrative. It's a good narrative, right?
That's why I've been quiet, because I'm looking at the chat. Because my finger on the dial.
So I'm playing a devil's advocate right now for you guys. Okay. Now we need that. We need people to play a devil's advocate because, again, our theories and our opinions could sway the way a case could go if there's a jury of 12 that's going to try to get a
Because
conviction.
they watch social media like them people with the
correct
sports floor, everything, playing dumb. I ain't been watching the case. I don't know nothing about nothing. Yeah, you do. Ain't
So
no way
do you think that, and then that leads me to my next question. Do you think a YouTuber could actually lead people to the boys?
Hell no.
To the boys?
Hell no.
I do not believe that.
No,
I
I
don't know YouTubers really can
because I haven't seen anything that somebody said that led me to nothing. I said that.
Okay, so how about led you away from something?
Well, can nobody never really lead us in the way for something if you take that.
Hold on, that whole narrative from another channel that came out in the very beginning that saw security camera gave a whole bunch of narrative that led a whole bunch of people down a whole different path. So
Yes,
I'm giving you a narrative.
True. I'm saying what he's saying.
I'm giving you a narrative right now that they gave you on the opposite side to make you feel or possibly feel that way. I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong, but I'm going to say a lot of people were persuaded, not only with being there and seeing security camera, but without knowing exactly what's on the ground there, because a lot of people aren't there. I've been there several times, and I can tell you that.
Let me tell you why it didn't lead me nowhere. Because I always go by what the news bring, and the sources.
Some
Sorry.
people, Queen. Some people, not you.
Okay, well,
Some
Yeah,
I'm
people.
speaking of this.
mainstream media is not
I
your best
get it.
news source,
I
but
get it. I get it. How I'm not just speaking of mainstream media, but what I'm saying is I can get how that video led people other ways. But as far as me speaking and other woke people, we never. Okay, we saw the video footage. Okay, we saw 4 kids. But far as the other stuff being released, we took it with a grain of salt. We never believed like the stuff that came out about the dog name Chalk and all that. I never believed that. It never made sense
and
to
I went and disproved the whole chalk scenario. To be honest with you, I not only got that from Jamal Watkins, but and that was one of the 2 questions I asked him. But there was other theories that I had and other theories that people had, and I work with a bunch of criminologist engineers, and I'm telling you right now, and I can say that there's a lot of theories that can be disproved, and a lot of stuff I don't want to put out also because it's driving people away from this case, and I believe it could help harm the case as much as it could hurt, or hurt the case or help the case. So, there's a lot of narrative that I don't put out, or there's things that I do on my channel to help people critically think to what could have actually happened, or the other possibilities, rather than the narrative that was given from 2 people who, one had a security camera and one thinks he's a private investigator. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta shy away from what all that stuff is and look at the case for what it is,
right.
and not an
I've always
opinionated.
looked at all different aspects too. I don't just, you know what I'm saying, look at one aspect and I ask questions. Why, when, what, how, where.
That's why
Look at
free
all
thinking is
aspects.
so critical in this case right now. Free thinking is, rather than a false narrative or a false positive or somebody giving you something that you run with. Again, I'm searching in deserts.
That's been a lot of people's opinion, is that folks gave narratives. It ain't that somebody gave a narrative. You just don't like the fact they didn't agree with what you thought about the people involved. Just because I don't agree with how you think, that don't mean I gave a narrative.
And then you get attacked.
I'm not ride or dying with what you think of this parent or that parent. I always make that clear in the beginning. I'm not ride or dying with nobody that abused a kid. So if you want to say that's a narrative on my part, then that's your prerogative. But
I'm not saying a narrative like that. I'm talking about a narrative of the case.
In general.
What happened.
I'm speaking of in general, people who've made that comment. Like you with a narrative. How I'm with a narrative. I ain't never been with a narrative.
You came with some sick facts. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, they get sicker. They get
sicker. When somebody doesn't like that, they're gonna try to discredit you 100%.
But look, if I could really just go deep in the belly of the beast and put some stuff out there, all because I'm protecting a certain person, eyebrows would burn off.
Yep.
Eyebrows would burn off.
And your fake hair would burn off. Like everybody says. I've seen you comb it.
That wig. But I'm just saying.
Right.
Just from some stuff that I learned recently, it shows me that somebody is really disgusted.
When you're over the target, you get fire. When you're over a target, sometimes you receive fire, right?
Hey, but let me tell you something. That's why I said I'd be so glad when everything come to fruition. Some things can be revealed to my fans and my viewers who rock with me, who totally rock with me. There's certain things I want to be revealed, but that has to come on that person's time. Everybody will sit up and be like, yowza. Ooh, I'm going to shut up because, damn, it was like that. You understand what I'm saying? But see, when people think they know everything, I let them think what they want to think. But just from some stuff I know, some page has been rattled. That lets me know.
At the end of the day, it's about the kids. It's not about us being right or wrong.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. But when
what we're doing right now is what social media should be doing. It's a think tank.
Right.
We're think tanking.
That's when you realize that there's people who are not in it for the right reasons. You understand what I'm saying? You're not in it. Your mouth is saying one thing, but your disposition is saying another.
We're gonna let God deal with them.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Look, we don't have to. We don't have to. We can take the heat. We can take the heat, but guess what? We're not going to the heat. We're going to the heavens.
That's it. Because that's the whole thing about the case, is that a lot of people have. There are people who are gullible. They'll believe anything that somebody tell them. They know it's
cult-like behavior.
Yeah, they know it's snowing outside, but you're gonna listen to somebody come out of nowhere and say, Now you know it's raining or it's sunny, and you look like, no, that look like snow. No, that ain't snow. And you
Beach
hear
sign.
it enough, they say it enough, you not have believed that it's not snowing, but you know damn well it was snow out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because there are a lot of people who can easily be coerced.
And that's why I came up to give a critical thinking side, a devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm with the devil, but I'm giving you a devil's advocate.
See, I think outside the box. I think of everything on all sides. I think of everything. I think of everything that was brought forth. I think of everything that was said. I think of the actions of this person. I think of the words of this person, and I put it all together. And see, a lot of people who are not, as you say, critical thinkers, they already got their narrative. Then they don't want you saying nothing because it goes against what they think, what they believe. You're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. But I personally, I don't give a damn about who you are. I'm not going to ever ride or die with nobody that neglects and abuses a baby. That's on a stack.
Now, Jacqueline and Frizzell didn't have the kids when the femur was broken, right?
No, they did not. That happened under the bio mother's watch. That's what
so
led.
I'm not gonna ride or die with the bio family, because at first I feel in my heart that they're more of a detriment to these kids than any adopted parents could have been.
But that's the point I've been trying to make to everybody on those things in the beginning, that we wouldn't be talking about the kids, because I don't want to dwell on that, but we wouldn't be talking about the children had somebody cared enough for the kids to do what they needed to do with those kids. Now, I'm not saying that you can't leave your kid with Pookie or Ray, and while you gone, they do something to your kid. That can happen. You understand what I'm saying? You could think, I've entrusted you with my baby, and then you did something to my child, but in the end, the state will be the one to determine if you were going to stand account for what happened to the child, whether you were there or not.
Correct.
And then you scratch that, good Doug. Now it's baby number 2. So what happened with baby number 2? Because that's a year apart. So even if I give you a pass on baby number 1 being taken out your care, what the hell went on with baby number 2? That ain't got nothing to do with baby number 1. But yet somebody want to get jiggy with me and be like, well, you think like, and she did. You weren't there, because you, like I tell people, you cannot logically explain CPS coming into your business a year apart with your children. Come on now.
And taking your kids away from you because you can't do the right thing just to get sober. Because you can't get sober. But she could have had her kids back if she was sober, right?
2 separate times, yes.
She couldn't get sober enough, or the people around her weren't sober enough, or people she was doing.
Times. That's my point. That even if she didn't have nothing to do with the first
why
baby
now?
kid.
Why now does she want the kids? Unless it's out of spite.
I don't know.
Unless it's out of spite.
I don't know. And like
if I can't have them, you can't have them.
And that could
be like women with a man or a man with a woman. If I can't have her, you can't have her, and you kill them both. Like, people are sick like this. I'm working so many different cases right now that
what I'm saying,
a lot of this comes together. It's so sad.
On what I know, this. I go by common sense. Your children, you had CPS intervene in your life 2 separate times. That's what I try to make the audience understand. 2 separate times. It's not like
where was your family when you were sick and you weren't getting help or this and you lost a kid? How come Ryan Dean or somebody wasn't out there? But now they want to be out there? How the hell does that work? Why now? Why not then? Why not then? What made them change from then to now that's
the point I've been making. That's why I tell people, it ain't no cranky this, old lady this. No, boo-boo. I think from a critical standpoint. I think from common sense. How do you just wake up one day and ride or die for this person and make excuses for why they couldn't show up when they was the main one that ran to the public to let people know that they was the mother? And I didn't want to get into that in this live, but it's brought up. We're going to go there.
Let's bring it to light a little bit. So,
but you ran me out of breath. But you ran her out of breath to let everybody know you were the mother. Now you vanished. You vanished, and you got somebody else speaking on behalf of your babies that were once in your custody, a relative of the children. I find that jacked up. That's my opinion.
Now you have people that are public that aren't making sense, but yet they sound like Liam Neeson. Like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I have no money. You know what I mean? You have people coming out like they're somebody that's really interested in finding out what happened to these kids or want to find what happened to the kids, why don't you look back at why you lost the kids first and then
But
stay
nobody
out
wanted
of it?
to talk about that. Nobody wanted to talk about that. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody ever wanted to address that. So many people came at me for like, you this, you that. No, boo-boo, I'm woke. You not.
Right, and I love
Because
that.
everything has a beginning.
I love that. Stay woke should be one of your shirts.
Yeah,
you should have a
it's on
shirt
your
that says
mind.
"Stay woke."
Stay woke, because see, you want to cry and moan about Jacqueline and Giselle. Stay woke. Jacqueline and Giselle didn't send for them 2 itty bitty spiders. Come on with it.
They rescued those itty bitty. They rescued those itty bitty
They didn't know the
spiders.
kids from Adam.
Right.
They didn't know the kids from Adam. They had a start point, and you all don't want to accept that. You want to go on and on about Jacqueline and Giselle. We know that 9 times out of 10 they did something cruel to those kids. That's a given. That ain't even nothing to argue about. But the point is, the children had a beginning. So you want to write a book, write a story, and then you want to throw out the narrative you think folks should hear. You want to start at the end, which is Jacqueline and Giselle.
which is usually happily ever after at the end of a book.
Yeah.
That's not what this is right now.
But you don't start a story at the end. You don't go to the storybook, pull all the pages out, and start at the end. Well, Pookie Ray Ray got the kids, now they missing. Voila, that's it.
Right, or listen to book on tape. You just don't do that. You search for yourself, and I've found a lot of myself throughout this case. You know, and more love and more
reflection. It's a time for reflection. Like I've said to many people, we are all flawed human beings. I think a lot of people listen to my commentary. They think, well, she's a little rough around the edges. I may be, but I'm a logical thinker. I start
We're fallible. We're fallible as people.
Yes, I don't start at the end of a story, because if I'm going to start at the end of the story, I need not discuss the story. Do you see what I'm saying?
Or you might as well just take on what everybody else tells you what the story's about.
And
so
I
you can
don't
get
do
to
like
the end.
that. Baby,
you
I come from heavy hitters. My bloodline.
And I can tell you, I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that 100%.
My bloodline is heavy hitters. You know, I'm talking about doctor, lawyers, school teachers, heavy hitters.
And those are all people in the community that would take care of kids. You know, take care of kids from birth till they're old enough to go to a different doctor or this or that. You may may receive them after, but you know their whole medical record, which we don't get that through this. We just get their non-medical record. We get
and we're not going to get that, because that's private information. So that's to be expected. You're not going to get that said information. But my thing is, I always start at the beginning. This is what I told everybody about this story, just like the story I brought you in California a month ago when they beat the 5-week-old. I want you to logically think about that. I want you to process somebody beating. God, I'm about to cry. Somebody beating a 5-week-old baby.
Why didn't somebody in the Bio family stop it before a femur was broken?
Okay,
but now they want to stop it before the kids are found. I don't get it.
But what I'm saying is, in California, I brought you a story about a 5-week-old whose femur was broken, and the doctor said that when he came, came to the hospital, we could see the leg was broke. So what I ask people is, why do you talk bad about these people who
Queen,
beat
I love you. I love you, Big Ange.
They beat a 5-week-old, and you talk about them like a dog. You talk about them like a dog because they beat a 5-week-old, but you rally behind a motherfucker that leg was broken 3 months old. Explain that to me, because you didn't hear Ryan Dean's story on the news, so you want to put it way in the back.
Hey, do you see how this is coming? We feel like these are our kids at this point, don't we?
Yeah.
We feel like these boys are our kids, and you know, the kids are our future. You know what I mean? They are. I love you, Queen. You're gonna make me cry right now.
I just don't understand how you can judge this couple who was on meth, who beat a 5-week-old in a hotel room. But then in this case, it's really no different. It's only that baby lived. Do you see where I'm going? And I can't say, that the bio mother abused her kid. I've never said that. All I'm saying is, what's the difference is what I'm saying.
And why now?
Right. She got CPS in her life 2 separate times, a year apart, and yet you still want to ride or die with this female as if She had no participation in her 2 children being taken from her. How can you ride or die with that?
You can't.
You can't. Thank you.
You can't. And don't hold yourself liable for feeling that way, because I feel that way in a lot of different cases. And tonight I had an hour and a half, interview with somebody that's been missing now for 6 months, and I got a lot of stuff that makes a lot of sense, and it was overwhelming, and I was in tears for an hour before I even got onto this. I couldn't even comment because it was so deep, and these people were very close with this person, and I'll let you know about the case on another, I'll call you after or something, and again, I'll give you all the information too. But there's some deep stuff where a lot of stuff plays in that we don't know about. That is crucial.
Right.
And it could give the Bio family a pass, or it could give the West family a pass.
Right.
And I'm not going to say which one deserves a pass right now, because I'm not going to put myself that way. But there's somebody that deserves a pass right now that are being very harassed and very, that have been very cooperative as well.
Okay.
So I just want to say that, if you're not as cooperative, or there's not as much stuff coming from your side of the family, but another side of the family is very cooperative, and donation money and this and that is coming from them, people just don't donate to cover something up. People don't have that kind of money either.
Right.
And I'm not going to throw Jamal under the bus, because I don't know him from Adam from Eve or Adam from Steve, but I think he's a genuine person with voice analysis that I've done on him and other situations. Oh, yeah.
You think that, Doug, really?
You got to have some voice analysis done when they talk, as opposed to a lie detector test at any time, because a voice analysis will judge what they're feeling at that time. It's there's a lot of ways to pass different tests, especially if you know how to do that. And some criminals are more educated on what to do and how to do it, and know how to cover stuff up or know how to hide things. And I'm just saying there's both ends. You got to look at, they're both guilty and they're both innocent at this time. You can't just place the blame on somebody at this point, because again, the cops and BPD and the FBI and HSI and a lot of people who are working this, even outside of what is being disclosed, have a lot more information than we have. And a lot of people are going to either agree.
And that's true. And I've said that from the beginning, is that I know that when it started with Cal City and then now Bakersfield, they're not going to tell us everything. They may know more, but because they're not privy to tell us, whatever it is that they have, we're just sitting here like, well, what's going on? Or, why won't you tell us anything?
One of the BPD,
I get it.
One of the Cal City police that were working this heavily on the case, that backed off it, because he's got 2 kids and it was too tough for him. And a lot of times they're supposed to be non-judgmental. They're supposed to be non-biased. They're supposed to.
Yes.
He had to walk off the case, and I know him personally, and we've had a conversation, and I'm not going to put his name out there, but there's only 12 or 13, including John Walker, out there. Mm-hmm. So you got to understand, there's just a handful of people. If you see 2 of them out there when they're working, you've seen, a fourth of the people who actually are in the Cal City Police Department. And I'm not going to say they're bad people or good people. Again, things happen to me, excuse me, that aren't even true. I just followed down the
Well, that's the thing. And that's the thing I've told people, is that it's easily to be manipulated by people. You're watching people, you're thinking they're doing the right thing. They sound like they're on the right team. They sound like they're doing things. But then as you start watching them, you start seeing things that don't look kosher. If you woke.
If you're on if your foot on the ground, you're going to learn more about, like, it took me getting arrested for some bogus charges, which those warrants didn't even appear when I went to court today. I went to court today. I scheduled for early because I'm trying to start this other job, which this put a damper on. And I went today, and there's no warrant. There was no warrants. They arrested me on warrants that don't even exist. Okay. And then on top of that, it's now a privacy complaint from the person who had me a private person arrest, who said I was vulgar, which I wasn't. It was all live streamed and I have witnesses, but they said I was, like, being vulgar, using offensive words, which our First Amendment right gives us freedom of speech. I could tell someone to fuck off, and sorry, Queen, but that's freedom of speech.
Okay.
It's not saying I'm going to kill you or do this or do that, where it's a death threat or a threat. Yeah. But anything that you say, and if you always watch my videos, I'm never that way. Mm-hmm. That's not my thing. Sorry, Queen, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I didn't know Queen talks. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry if you was trying to say
No,
something. Sorry.
I'm letting y'all go where y'all going. I'll wait till y'all get back to what we was talking
How do you
about.
feel about what we just said, Queen Talks?
About which part?
Just about, we can't blame either side of the family. Really, we got to go on circumstantial evidence, and we got to go on non-feelings. We can't go. We can't judge somebody on feelings. We got to judge them with facts.
Okay.
But in the real world, Doug, it don't work like that. You do know that, right? We
Okay.
judge according to what we see, and that's how I judge. I judge according to what I'm seeing you do. I judge you according to what I'm seeing you do. I judge according to what I ain't seeing you do. I judge you on what you said. I judge you on what you didn't say.
But you're not stupid. See, you have that you have 4 lobes in your brain that are all working together instead of working left brain or right brain rise. You're seeing all aspects of the spectrum, and that what we've seen on the left side maybe not appears on our right side, and again we got a West on the right and we got the Bio family on the left.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe I'm all of them are suspects to me. I believe that the Bio family and adoptive, they're all suspects and they're all persons of interest to me until the kids are located and they are and it's confirmed by the police that they have nothing to do with it. I'm looking at both sides of the family as persons of interest.
And you know what? I don't even hate the YouTubers who may or may not have put me in a situation, or the people where I put myself there. I knew what was up. I knew kind of things that I needed to do to be safe. Now, I don't have any judgment on any of those people that have letters in their name or news crew in their name or anything else. I don't even hate those people. I hope they're keeping the story alive so we get a resolution. But all I want is something to be factual, or something that's not pushing somebody off the case, or being crude enough to where they can persuade their cult or whoever they have on their other pages to not give each side of the family the chance to be innocent. You know what I mean? We want to find out who did it, but I don't to be honest with you, if you want my opinion, I don't believe either one are innocent or guilty at this point. I think, like you said, they're all guilty until the judge and the jury and everybody, but everybody's innocent until the facts are presented and they're in front of a judge and a jury and
I just see
fighting
them all
for
as suspect. I see them all as suspect because either side could have had anything to do with these kids becoming missing or even becoming deceased. We don't know anything.
The whole point of this is that we shouldn't be harassing either side yet until we have solid facts. Again, we'll all have our opinions, even other YouTubers or this or that, or who we watch and who we don't watch. Everybody has that choice in their heart to watch or follow who they want to. What they need to do is have the same choice for both sides of the family.
Somebody's harassing someone? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you're following the West family around and taking pictures of them while they're in their car, when they're trying to live a normal life, yeah, I think that's stalking and harassment, because we can't put that on them.
I mean, but who brought that up? Nobody said nobody was harassing somebody. We was asking, right?
I still think that's stalking when you're chasing somebody down in their car,
right?
And
but
taking
what does that have
pictures of them.
to do with you're asking me who's responsible? Like, how do I feel or what do I think?
Oh no, that's after the fact. I'm sorry if that came out wrong. It's after the fact of how we feel as people and what we think as people and what happened. I'm thinking at this point we don't know still. So would you like somebody chasing you around, taking pictures of you and your man, if something happened to you like this, and you know in your heart that you didn't have anything to do with it, or I mean, I'm just saying, just for the recent video I've seen of the pictures of Trezell and Jacqueline in a car together, that's normal.
Okay.
I don't want to
speak on that because I was just up here to talk about, the what we feel about the case in general. So, I mean, I see what's going on, but I'm not going to give my opinion about who
Yeah,
harassed,
no,
who's doing all of that.
no, yeah, we all have our different opinions on that as well. Again, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I feel because then I don't want somebody else to run with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to leave every option open for everybody to free think. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. I mean, at
Okay,
this
so Doug, let
point,
me ask you this: since you're talking
yeah.
now, I've heard you speak a few times. So, do you still believe that Jacqueline and Trezell are innocent? What do you think? Because maybe that's where this is going. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Do I feel that they have a part in this?
Or not? Or not?
I think I'm going to have to go with a third. If you really want my honest, like what I'm going to think right now, I think they have a third. If we're going to go and break it up into parts, I can't even break it into fourths because there's not enough people to break it into fourths.
Because I believe you've said that before, and I see where this conversation is going. And so that's because my title is that. Do you think the case is flatlined, and who are the suspects? So that's what I'm asking. Do you think
You want to
that
know you really want to know what I think? I'll tell you right now.
you're gonna give your opinion? That's why I try to tell
I think that Jacqueline and Trezell are scared if they were to say anything that they weren't coached on, and they're in hiding because they've gotten good a good talking to by maybe the police at this point, where they're like, just don't talk because it's in your benefit, and talk to us. And they've got a good relationship with Jacqueline and Trezell because they've been at everything that they've asked for, they've done. They haven't run or hidden from any kind of thing that I know of. I don't know about lie detectors or voice analyzations, but I would think that they would agree to that because when their interview happened, I believe that they were coached enough to say enough that they needed to say and how they needed to say it, as opposed to getting people on their butts. And I think that
So
if anybody had anything to do with it, it would say the bio side.
So who would they be coached by?
The police. They were, before they did that interview, I had somebody that was on scene that I know pretty well that they talked to police a long time before they did that interview. And the night before, there was a lot of stuff going on that we don't know. And I believe that, they can only give so much to mainstream media because mainstream media would run.
So what are you saying? So I'm gonna ask you personally, if you can answer.
Yep, ma'am.
You still feel like these two are not complicit in the disappearance of the children?
Again, I think it's a third. I think they know a little bit more, but they're scared. And then I think that the other side of the family has more pull.
So so I'm gonna ask you this because you and I have never discussed this. So I'm gonna ask you now, if you can, live. Why would Jacqueline and Trezell be scared in any capacity?
Well, if you know that the other side of the family has a bunch of gang ties and gang relations to a certain gang that could do something like this and make somebody disappear if they were to talk too much, I believe they're in fear for their lives and their actual bio children, as Trezell and Jacqueline, and their fosters. Even though they don't have their fosters back, this is not a big enough case. To be honest with you, even with these kids going missing, if they were kidnapped, that they wouldn't get those bio kids back, and they wouldn't get their fosters back. Can
I say something? All right. So, okay. So I'm listening to your answer. So this is. Let me interject.
I think what I think. I'm not taking it for Doug, but I think, Doug, is this something that you know? Because I've been wondering that for the past 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks. You and I, when you first jumped on the panel and all this old hoopla got started with you coming on here, is it something that you know is why you think that possibly Jacqueline and Trezell are scared of the bio side?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. Go ahead, Quay.
Okay. So I get that. And like I said, thanks to the source and everybody that came forward and provided us with the wonderful information that we needed to know, that we already suspected about the bio family. So we appreciate that. So we know the babies were doomed from beginning to the end.
Yes. Yeah, we know that.
We know that. So we know that, in my opinion, the bio family is very unfit. Now, when we go ahead and get to the kids and who they was with, they was last with the adoptive family. And everything that I've seen from Jacqueline and Trezell.
Well, which kids are you talking about? Are you talking about the two that were dropped off apparently during Christmas shopping, or the grandparents? Okay.
So Jacqueline and Trezell is the ones that look suspect to me because they were the last ones with the children. All right. and they report everything they said has not been, from what we've seen, has not been true. So
So if they were
they're
the last one with the
looking at,
kids, then that means they killed them, right?
they
Or they
look
did,
to
did
me
something.
like they're at fault
How do
for
we know they're the last ones that had the kids? If the
well,
kids
they
were supposed to be.
reported them and they said that the kids was outside. So to me, it seems like they was the last one with the children. Would you say that?
No, because if they're missing right after they had them, who had them afterwards?
If if Trezell said he's throwing wood, right, and he put his children right there on the little patio and had them not go on the grass, they would last be in his possession, correct? So they for somehow ended up out of his possession. That's how I'm looking at it. Somehow they
To
ended up out.
somebody else's possession.
Right. So
So that means somebody else possessed them last besides Griselle and Jacqueline.
he's looking funny to me. Him and Jacqueline looking at fault for these kids becoming up missing, and that's my opinion. That he's looking at fault for these children becoming up missing.
I'm sure he feels like he's at fault for letting these kids down at this point. I don't know if he did it, but I'm going to say that he probably feels at fault because he was the last one next to those children. And then we don't know who was across the street also stalking that. And there's two houses that have cameras. We have a corner house across the street, and then we have the mysterious Mike's house. So they have a good angle on each way. It's a good casing of a house. And the person who was across the street that in that video, who the hell was that? Was that the last person who had a possession of the kids?
Nah, I believe Trezell and Jacqueline was the last one that had those babies. And I believe either they hurt those kids or they gave those kids to somebody else. Them the only
I don't think they hurt those kids. I don't think they hurt them physically.
Really, Doug? You believe that?
I know your opinion.
I think the bio family has a more status of hurting kids.
That's what I was saying. Because I like I said, I let everybody speak. Let me say this. I let everybody speak, get their opinion. And I noticed that with Doug past couple weeks. Doug tends to think there's something going on with the bio. Obviously, I don't know. That's Doug's opinion. Like I tell everybody, I let everybody speak. So nobody can never say the queen don't let nobody speak and get her opinion. But I different opinion than Doug. Let me say that for all those that think they know me and who the hell I ride or die with. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not going to disrespect you. I do feel they got something to do with the kids, but Doug may see or know of something that I don't know, or his own perception. That's his perception. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do we know what the house looks? Do we know what the house looked like on the inside? Because I heard the lock.
We don't, and I said that, and I let that be. See, that's why I tell everybody. I bring variables to a story because that's the point. You don't know. I've said that to you all before. I said, "How the hell you know?"
Did you know that the locks were on the outside of the doors rather than the inside of the doors, so they could lock them from the outside and nobody could come out from the inside?
Say what?
So if you have a door lock,
okay, I need some potato chips.
A door lock you usually would lock from the inside.
Leave me alone. Doug, leave me alone. So what you say? Well, wait a minute. That would make them look guilty. You said you can't get out from the inside.
That means you're locked in, yeah. So what does that change if the door locks were on the outside instead of the inside, and the kids couldn't get out of a room or whatever because it was locked from the outside, not the inside, like you would normally do?
Okay, so what are you talking about? The front door or the bedroom doors?
I'm talking about down to the garage door that comes inside the house, down to the doors on the inside of the house. Maybe the kids were locked in and not locked out.
Okay, do you know something about some doors inside was locked?
I have to say, I talked to somebody who's off this case that doesn't want to be involved with it anymore. That there's a good possibility.
Okay, so Doug, let's go there then. So if the doors are locked from the inside, well, come on now. If the doors are locked from the inside, then that means you didn't want somebody to get out. What you trying to say? Oh Lord,
that's what I say in my opinion. And I mean,
so you go back to what Queen thinks. Queen Talks Crime thinks. You know, there could be possibility of that, but I'm going to say that there were so many kids at one point, and we don't know anything. We haven't seen the pictures of the inside of the house. We haven't seen. All we see is the exterior of everything.
Well, I got some naysayers. I got some naysayers in the chat that not quite agree with what you're saying. I was going to tell you.
I mean, what you're saying is you hearing from someone else, so that's what you're basing your opinion off of.
Somebody who lives in Cal City who was on the scene first night.
Right. So that's who you're basing your opinion off of, correct?
No, not my opinion. That's just basing what I just said on, and I don't know what the
Right,
inside of
so
the house looked
what
like.
they're saying is what you're basing your feeling or your beliefs off of, right?
Right, Summer, I agree. So I will say that to Doug, that it does make the West look guilty if you're locking the doors on the inside where the children can't get out to go open the door. They got to have a key or something because, you know, like in the city where I'm from, Chicago, they got locks where you have to put the key in to turn that lock to go outside, you know, for safety reasons because you're in the city. But Jesus Christ, superstar. What the
Yeah,
hell?
so it's a good possibility that, you know what, something could have been maybe, you know, a timeout room or something, but there was one door that had the lock switched inside out, so you couldn't get in.
Which one was that, Doug?
As I was told, it was the garage in.
Okay,
Inside. So if you open the garage door and you walk in the whole garage where you'd park your car, and then there's a door that leads into the house. That lock was switched, and they didn't park in the garage. If you notice, they park their van on the street all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
there's that aspect of things, and again, I don't want to point blame at anybody, but the persons that hurt the kids at first aren't the Wests.
We know
Okay,
that.
Queen Talk Crime.
We know that.
Sis,
I don't know what I'm listening to. I'm confused about what Doug said. Maybe my mind is down and
I got
fuzzy.
My name, baby.
yeah, sis, I
Okay,
got
let
you.
me go back. Wait, before y'all get started. Okay, Doug, you talking about, I know where the garage is in the back. Then they had that slab of concrete.
No, not the back garage. I'm talking about the front garage. You go in the driveway off Aspen Avenue.
Oh, yeah, the one that was crooked. Looked like somebody had been in it.
They had rocks up against, right?
Okay, the one that's on the side.
Yeah, it wouldn't close all the way.
It was kind of ajar. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's dented enough to where it wouldn't even close all the way down. That's why
I
they
remember that. Okay, so are you talking about that door inside of that garage?
From that to inside the house, as opposed to going outside where they supposedly played with chalk.
Okay, so you saying that door had a lock on it from the inside? That what you're saying?
Yes, to where that if you no, it's back. Yeah, from the inside, you couldn't get in. Yeah, you couldn't get in.
You said you couldn't get out. Is that what you're saying?
Right, and we don't know what they used that garage for. To be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you there was stuff in that garage, maybe some cots, maybe things like that, maybe a time area.
Some cots.
Yeah, they weren't parking their van or their cars in that garage.
Doug, what are you saying about the garage?
I'm saying that there could have been something that the Bio family could have done to take the kids, or there could have been something that the West family did inside of, an area where, the kids, they're stuck. They're not in a bedroom where they can just come out the door. You know what I mean? Where it's unlocked. They were actually locked out, and it's a good possibility that something happened to them outside of that. I don't want to tell you that the West family did anything to them. I don't know. I don't know how this was pre-planned or what happened at this point, but both sides are, what I'm getting at is both sides are possibly involved in those kids' damage. Whether the pictures we saw where the lip was busted and then we hear the leg and the femur was busted. Those kids on those first posters, if you look closely at Orrin and Orson, you can tell that there's some facial damage. There's some slapping.
I've heard different things, and I saw something about where the Bio mother said that on the Facebook page about the cut. But you got to remember, kids fall, they roughhouse, so we can't say because we don't know these people. That's the whole point. We don't know if the child was roughhousing, got a cut above their face, ear, whatever, mouth. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know because we don't know these people.
But if they're in your custody at that time, then you do know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm saying as an outsider, I don't know because I don't know these people is what I'm saying. I can't say what went on with the West and the kids and any type of, scars around here or there or arms. I can't say because I don't know the people. So I can't say. But there are some people in the chat, I'm going to say it, that think that you'll be off with your theories. And like I said, we all the time to our opinions, and I let everybody speak. Since people act like I don't, because I do. I let everybody speak. But like I just said, I think that possibly something or heard something. So you to come to your conclusions why you think that Jacqueline and Trezell aren't involved or spooked or scared or partial involved. you and I have never spoken to know why you feel this way, but I asked you this on the live because the people in the chat, they're making comments that are quite negative, in
That's
defense of
fine
why you
because
don't think that these two are involved. That's what they're saying in the chat. I'm gonna go on and say that. So
I'm gonna say that both parties are involved. If you really want what I want, I gave you a
yeah,
devil's
because
advocate.
I don't want you to keep sugarcoating anything. Just say what you mean.
I'm gonna tell you both parties are involved.
Okay.
That, as
Then
far as
we'll
I
leave it
know.
at that then. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But,
Who else
I
wants to say?
can't just point blame. You have to give all the stuff that I hear, even whether it's factual or not. This is what I've heard, and I gave you that. I gave you what I heard, and we've gotten the narratives down. And we talked about the one negative where we talked about security cameras, and we talked about a possibility of of having like a slave-like garage where there's cots in there, and if you're in a timeout room, you're in a timeout room, or if you did something wrong, and there's a reason why the kids aren't out playing all the time, or you don't see the kids because maybe they were shoved somewhere in a garage or in a room where they couldn't go out and play.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I got you. So, and that makes sense. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if I let you go in a room where nobody can see or hear from you, blah, blah, blah. And people do that. That's why I said you don't know what people do with kids, be it their own, adopted, whatever. And real deal, let me tell you something. I let everybody give their opinion because let me tell you something. You all, I'm going to say this for the 13th time. You all say stuff in the chat that I don't like, and I don't block you. And I'll let you give your opinion. So whether I agree with Doug or not, I'm letting him have his opinion. There are times I may not agree with Doug. I may not agree with Queen Talks. I may not agree with Night Owl. That's what adults do. They agree to disagree.
But I'm going to give you that I think a third has to do with, I give you a third on Jacqueline and Chazelle's part, and I give the other 2/3 on the Bio family. Unless that's a part of the third can show that there was an outside source or somebody who was jealous of both sides of the family that was pissed off. Maybe something happened, or maybe they knew it was an easy.
Okay, and I see, and so that's why I want you to give your opinion because everybody's trying to think like, well, why don't Doug believe that they involved? That's why I just asked you: do you have knowledge or heard of something that leads you to think that it's not just Jacqueline and Trezell involved or whatever?
It's called critical thinking. It's called critical thinking, and if you got to force people to do critical thinking, then you have to force them in certain ways. You may not agree to all the stuff I said in the beginning or in the middle or towards the end, but I'm going to tell you what I feel now after we all talked about different possibilities. Again, I feel like they knew a little bit more on Jacqueline Trezelle's part. I don't think they hurt the kids or anything like that. I think they knew, at the time or a little before it happened, what was happening, and that they're scared enough to say, just stay out of the public light and do their thing and do what the cops tell them to do.
I wish you say something because there's a lot of negativity in the chat. I wish, Doug, you would say what you think and just be done with it. You get a lot of criticism as it is because they love making videos about you and me and Pookie.
I think the kids are in heaven. And I think that we're searching, and I'm searching in the desert for a reason right now. I'm looking for bodies and remains or anything that could lead to that situation. I'm not looking for live children at this point.
Okay.
And I don't want to give that narrative or give that kind of thing to anybody.
Leslie. Queen woke. For those of you who don't think of Queen woke, Queen stay woke. This is what I keep trying to tell you. I let a lot of you speak up here.
Nobody's up here is stupid.
You in the chat, you say all kind of stuff. I don't block you. I let you talk. So don't ever think I agree with somebody because of what they're saying. I let you have that reign. Since people try to act like they know the Queen. You don't know me. I let a lot of you say a lot of stuff in the chat I don't agree with. Never once did I block you. So
but how many people come on YouTube? How many people actually come on YouTube on a channel and talk about it? How many people in those chats come on YouTube and tell their thoughts and how they feel or what happened or who done what? Okay, none of them. All they do are keyboard warriors.
Okay, so Moonlight View, we're going to keep it 100. You say he's contradicting himself. So what is he contradicting himself about? I'm asking.
I'm devil advocating myself.
Hey, Queen Talk. Angela, I jumped back up here because it started out, we were talking about if the case flatlined. It kind of went left to something else if we believe who involved in that. And over here, we deal in facts and common sense. And the facts are the bio mom had the kids. She lost the kids. They went to CPS. CPS got the kids, took them to the West. They did the bare minimum. They got the kids, and the kids went missing with the adopted family. So in that regards, nobody gets a pass, whether it's gang members, whether it's mob members or anybody else. The fact remains they were negligent. And nobody left kids outside for a few minutes and the gang members came and got them. Nobody heard from the gang members and we still at a standstill. So I understand what you're saying, Miss Angela and Queen Talks. I definitely understand where you were coming from. So it's no disrespect to you, Mr. Doug, but it just comes off like with the 3/3, and that's kind of where everyone is confused because the facts are the bio mom lost the kids, the West got the kids. It's no in between of that. And so that's where people kind of veered off with the
So
scenario.
no, if neither side of them did it, say the bio family didn't do it and the West didn't do it, well, who does that leave?
I don't believe that the West didn't do it for the simple fact they were on the West time. They know who they're
That's
involved
what I
with.
was saying.
Nobody comes and gets kids and you don't have a clue who just got your kid. Somebody just mysteriously came within 3 to 5 minutes and got two little African American boys, and that's it. And they have no
The
clue
West
what
family did
whichever that
not
is.
do this. If you want all serious now, I'm gonna tell you right now. We gave a good we had a good conversation all the way up to the point where I can tell you right now I don't feel the West did had a part in this at all, at
Well, I'm
all,
glad you said that. I'm glad you said
at
that.
all,
So
at
let me tell
all.
you that.
I feel I
Oh,
feel I
Ride or
feel it
die,
was in between
they
to
know I'm
outward.
the queen. You see, varying opinions. I think they involved. Doug saying he ain't. So now you can go take that and scratch it up your ass. How about that?
I'm
Ching!
gonna I'm
I
gonna
think
tell
the
you straight
West.
out. The West are
And
I
I let
innocent.
everybody give their opinion. So
but the police
go
ain't
make a
said
video
for real
about that. Make sure you
for
spell my name
me.
right too.
And I believe the
For us,
West are involved as well. This is Queen
right.
Top Crime speaking. Just
I
saying.
think they're involved for the simple. The police ain't came out and cleared them, so I'ma believe that they are guilty for at least negligent if they ain't did nothing else. Let me put it like that. I'm gonna
I
give
agree
them
with
their
that.
due process.
Wipe your
I'm
nose.
gonna give them their due process. I'm not gonna just say nobody else could have been involved, but for me, they had a part in this.
So negligence isn't murder. Negligence isn't
Negligence
kidnapping.
leading to well, they were the cause because if you're negligent, it's been cases where parents have been negligent and charged with murder for what happened to their kids based on their negligence.
Wait, what case is this?
Well, I watch Crime ID, so we'll have to go back through a lot of cases, but I've seen cases
Yeah, I've
where
seen.
parents are, yeah, responsible
Well,
because
let me ask
they were
you.
negligent in it.
But they need
They were,
circumstantial evidence
Doug,
to prove
let
that.
me ask Doug. Let me ask Doug this so we can get this over with because y'all chattering and going on and on with you.
You see how
Doug.
people go? Yeah.
Well, it don't matter because
what?
I'm glad you and I don't think alike because they keep crying and moaning that we ride or die with each other. We got this great love affair. These motherfuckers think they know the queen. You don't know shit about me, and I'm gonna say it
Did you
like
change your
I
last
don't
name to
know me.
investigate?
I let everybody give their opinion whether I agree with them or not. For you dodo birds to think you know the queen, Doug, tell me why. Because I want to end this. Tell me and the chat and YouTube and Walla Land why you think that the West are not involved. And then I'm going to remove myself and take a break.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Restroom
I don't feel the West had anything to do with their kidnapping or the possible position there are now. I feel like the negligence thing. Well, why? Because they have fosters, and the fosters are being watched still. When they had them in possessions, the fosters are still getting social workers coming over every month, making sure they have up-to-date pictures, making sure they're not neglected, making sure that they're okay, making sure they're fed, making sure all this stuff. Because if you're fostering kids and they're going to go out somewhere else when they're not adopted to you, I feel that you're more under the watch. And I don't believe that they were doing anything to ruin whatever money they were getting for the fosters. I don't think that they were going to adopt them as their own. I think they were fostering because they needed money. And at the same time, they had the ability to do that when they moved. So I think that there was too many eyes on them watching them in that house and those kids that are fostered, which in turn you would see how the other kids are treated when they do a house walkthrough or do the updated pictures or whatever. I don't feel those kids were ever put in danger by the West intentionally.
Okay, Queen talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Go on, babe.
So okay. So
They have no records. They have no records.
I don't believe the kids was kidnapped. Because for one, there was no Amber Alert. We already know why. And then the camera would have showed at some point on some video footage that the police have now that the kids was
Yeah.
taken out of the yard. It's video cameras all around, and they would have seen somebody or some car come take those kids out of their yard. So I do not believe they were kidnapped. I don't believe
That's wrong.
nobody
Watch my
kidnapped.
latest video. Watch my latest video from criminologist engineers that show that the visual from those cameras cannot capture all that.
No, but it was cameras everywhere though.
No, there's not.
There are. It's
No,
cameras
there's not. I've been there. There's not. No, your
Okay.
cameras
Well,
everywhere is a statement
the
that's not true.
police has all the video footage, right?
What footage?
Any footage from any cameras around.
Do you think they have it before the 19th?
Any neighbors.
There's 2 neighbors that have cameras that could get that visual.
Well, whoever they got cameras over there, I believe
There's a line of sight where you don't see.
The neighbors gave the footage, or the police came and got the footage. FBI, whomever, law enforcement came and got the footage, so they can review the footage because to see if the kids were even, because they never give out an Amber Alert either. That the kids, nobody, they was not seen taken. So I don't believe they were kidnapped.
And I think if they were taken, isn't it an Amber Alert, or they just did not fit the criteria?
Well, you know, I'm going to go into something deep here with racial stuff and everything else. I think they thought that 2 black babies wouldn't get this much focus and this many people looking for them, and that it could have been an easier turnaround or something could have happened quicker. But now that everybody's on this case and it's worldwide, I think it became a lot more difficult for them to give the kids back or return the kids or whatever they were going to be doing, because any side of the family or anybody out in public could have wanted a reward, knew these family had money. Maybe they hated Jamal. Maybe they hated the West family. Maybe they hated the Bio family. There's so many different objectives to this and so many different variables. I just think that Christmas time would have been a great time to do something like that, because people are so focused on everything else, and there's a lot of people supposed to be out in different areas. I just don't see this having to be totally premeditated. I think it was just the timing that they thought was right, which in turn thinks that nobody's going to care about these black babies, which we all do. And I don't want to sound racist. I don't want to sound kind of ignorant or anything like that, but I'm going to say that this case has gotten a lot more eyes on it than they expected.
That's the eyes and attention. I do believe that. I didn't think it would get much attention, but I would think that Jacqueline Trezell felt that this would go under the rug. And
what's their motive? What's their motive? What would they gain from this? What's their motive?
Their motive was it was premeditated. They were tired of these kids.
You don't need a motive to kill kids. We do cases all the time where parents or adoptive parents kill their children.
Then they had a motive of getting rid of them because they were too much of a problem or this or that, but they could have just given them back.
Right.
They could have given them back.
Right. That was a problem.
So why not give them back to CPS? Why kill them?
I don't know why they didn't give them
back. Might be a narcissist.
Wouldn't it be easier?
But I believe they killed them kids. They killed them kids.
Wouldn't it just be easier to knock them off
than to give them back to CPS?
Yeah, but then you got to dispose of them and get rid of them.
People do it every day, Doug.
They are not that. The West are not this smart to be able to conjure this whole plan.
Exactly.
They are
not this smart
with the bare minimum.
They had help.
Well, we know they ain't too smart because they were.
So who do they have help from? If they don't like the Bio family because of all this press and all this stuff?
Wonder West.
That's a good question.
Hasn't the whole family been involved in the adoption of adopting kids for the longest?
Well, we could say that they have a lot of identities and in a way they can change identities and maybe pre-identified or had identities for these kids to change their lives and give them away to a different state. I don't think they killed them. I do not think the West killed these kids at all. at all. I don't think they knew that the kids were going to get killed if they even had a part in it, if the kids are dead. And I hope that they're alive.
When
But
I
I'm going to
watched
tell you,
the interview, Doug, they had nothing positive or nothing good to say about their own adopted children.
because they were coached to how to talk. They were talking to the cops right before. They are told what, how much they can say, even the mainstream media. Mainstream media works with the police and stuff too. You got to understand that there's two sides of this. You got
I get
the
that, but
mainstream.
I've seen interviews with parents that kids are missing, and no matter what, if they're coached or not, they show some type of empathy. They show remorse. They're crying. They want
Yeah, Chris Watts looked upset too, didn't he?
Yeah, I posted that on my channel. If you go watch
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm
So,
saying? There's so
like I
many
was
people who are
saying,
good fakers out there. There's good
none of
fakers.
that. There's none of that. None of that. None of that. None of that. And he talked.
Well,
he
they
was
wasn't culturally
rambunctious,
aware.
nothing good about his kids. So he showed he had no
What you
connection.
said that out?
No connection.
They wasn't coached too
That I
well.
believe.
'Cause
That I believe.
if they were coached, then they need to fire whoever coached them.
It was horrible.
I just want to really know where we can all put justifiable
I'm glad
facts.
Doug gave his
Justifiable
opinion
facts.
so everybody can get off my damn back
Justifiable
about
facts.
who the hell I ride or die with. I think for the queen. Obviously, Doug thinks differently than the queen. So now you can shut up and quit making videos about some shit you don't know what the hell you're talking about. How about
Right.
that?
We ride with the
Right.
kids.
We
How
proved
about
that
that?
tonight, right,
How
Queen?
about that?
We
You
did
can
prove
We
that
ride
tonight.
with
You
the
can quit
kids.
making videos now about something you thought you knew. Thank you, Doug. Because
Yes,
Doug and I
ma'am.
don't think. Because Doug and I obviously don't think the same. Shazam.
And you don't, and
Thank
that's
you.
what makes America great, because we're allowed to be free thinkers, and
Shazam.
we're allowed to do
Dodo
and say
birds.
how we feel. But again, I don't go on my channel and give a narrative or give something how I
and bash
feel.
people because they think differently. Because I don't always agree
Yeah, I don't
with
bash
what
anybody.
my commenters
you know?
say. I don't always agree with the queen. I don't always agree with Night Out. We all difference in opinion, and that's the point. But see,
Yeah,
that's what
and we're not always going to tell
you.
you exactly what we know or how we know it, because it could be a detriment to this case.
Matter of fact, Chris Watts.
Okay, now somebody's saying that you're flip flopping. So which is it, Doug? You're flip flopping, Hawkeye. Y'all don't want me to block
Why?
you. So,
Yeah, Hawkeye's from a different community. Hawkeye's from a different community, but I gave
Yeah.
you guys enough to think for your guys' selves tonight. You'll never know what I know or how I know it, because I'm not going to be a detriment to this goddamn case after all this shit's gone on and all this YouTube bullshit and all the trashing of Big Angie and all this trashing of the Queen and all this trash of Night Owl or anybody else, even myself.
Doug, think about
even
it.
myself. You think I would come on? You think I would come on here without giving people a different?
Doug that heard me talk. He'd heard my opinion. He ain't
How
never
many people? How many people in your audience right now would think that I would tell you guys anything that I knew? Because I'm not going to be a detriment to this case. I gave you guys all over the board spectrum so you can think for yourselves and stop pointing the finger at somebody and start looking for facts. Stop doing that, because you're hurting people's lives and you guys are giving people a place in hell where they may not deserve it or they may deserve it. You're not God. You're not the judge. You're not the jury. I gave you guys enough tonight to think for your fucking selves. And I'm sorry to cuss, but you guys think for yourselves. Stop downing people. Stop pointing the finger at people. And I'm not talking to people on panel. I'm talking to people in the chat. You guys think for yourselves. You can think I flip-flop or not, but I'm not going to tell you everything I know. I'm not going to give you everything I need to give you. Why don't you do some investigating for yourself and stop bashing people before you get somebody hurt? Because you guys are all liable. If the West family get killed over something or somebody else get killed over something, you guys are all liable for hurting that case and those people. And I'm not going to be a part of that. I'll give you how I feel in certain ways, and I'll give you how I think in certain ways, but I ain't going to give you what and Queen, every day. I'll talk to you personally about this. And I told you before, I'm not going to give up sources like you don't give up sources. And I'm not going to tell you what I know, because it's going to hurt this case even more, because you all have hurt this case, and not you guys on panel, but anybody who's out there, past searchers or boots on the ground. You guys have made a detriment and defecated on this case, because even if they do find those killers or they find out what happened, it's going to be hard to put a judgment on them, because there's going to be 12 persuade people up on that jury because of everybody's thoughts and everybody's opinions. So unless you have facts, do not start pointing the finger at certain families and certain people. Do I think you should be pointing the finger at the Bio family? No. Do I think you should be pointing at the West family? No. I think you should wait until we find out from the cops and the FBI and HSI, because they have been working this case and other cases similar to this, and they may look like they're reaching out to us public, but they know a hell of a lot more than we do. Hell of a lot more. And you guys are never going to be a cop or FBI or this or that unless you already are, because of the way you guys think. You guys are already persuaded in the chat. You guys are already thinking how you want to feel based on what you see. You're not there with those families. You haven't been there when they got the kids or when they lost the kids or however.
Watch your tone in the chat.
Right?
I mean,
Right?
but
You guys had a
get
bunch of
to
devil's
this
advocate
point?
today.
How did we get to this point? I don't understand.
Well, you know what? I'm sick and tired of people harassing people and threatening people, not only my life and other people and me being a subject to it. I'm going to give you guys enough that you guys can hang yourselves. And you guys hung yourself in the chat tonight. I'm going to tell you that. You guys took that rope
said something
and whatever. Yeah, I think a lot of the chat, there's a Queen saying that there's a lot of people who agree or disagree or with this and that. A lot of people are already biased. We've got so many people who've been biased since day one who thought somebody did it because of their interview. We weren't there. None of us were there. Unless we were there and talked to the West, or we were interrogated the West, or I'm sure they did their jobs. I'm sure Cal City did as much as they could. They didn't do as much as I think they could have, or the right way that they should have started this with procedurals. But I'm going to tell you, they dropped the ball a few times, but they didn't drop the ball completely. They handed that ball off to Bakersfield, the FBI, HSI, and everybody you hear.
Stuff going on right here, right? This some personal.
I don't know. Look,
There's been people attacking Queen and attacking me.
I don't air their shenanigans, but I'm gonna give y'all what y'all thought y'all knew. See, this is what I love about people who think they knew the Queen. Now you saying that Doug and I think differently. But see, I want to give you what you wanted because you think you knew me.
And everyday shenanigans. I tell you a lot more than a lot of people, but I ain't going to tell you everything. You know, just like you don't tell me everything. I've been with you on the phone with your source, and I even got off the phone and stuff, and you said this is stuff we can't talk about, or the stuff we're gonna, and I respect that. And again, there's a lot of things that go on the outside of this YouTube world. This YouTube world is not the real truth. This YouTube world is a YouTube world it's called YouTube Penitentiary, and we're all involved in it. You know what I mean? This is a YouTube penitentiary. We're not the cops. We're not the judges or the juries right now. Right now, there's nobody that's in front of a judge or a jury. We can only speculate on who did what and how it happened and who did what and what the house looked like before, what the house looked like after. Did they really sell the house to the West? Did the house, did the real estate agent or mortgage agent help them out with money? What does that fucking matter in this case? That has nothing to do with why those boys are missing. Classic and Sincere, Orrin and Orson West are somewhere. Okay, I hope they're with God, and I hope they don't go through any more traumatic stuff. But I'm going to tell you, I hope we find them alive as well. I'm looking for a recovery case at this time, you guys, and I'm going to give you that. And I'm not going to tell you who I think actually West or the Bio family, because, again, there could be maybe a Blood hates the Crips, and they wanted to take something from the Crips that was important to them. And it could be a gang-on-gang violence. We don't even know what this is. We're not that deep into it as far as the cops and everybody else. We did not have anything to do. Maybe the first day people, when they went missing on the December 21st, maybe they didn't go missing then. Maybe people were searching, in areas that night and yelling out their names when everybody's laughing because they're somewhere else in a different state already. Who knows? Like Queen said, they've got family up in Washington. They got family all over, all the way to Florida, all the way to California. There's a lot of states in between each one. And I don't know, and I'm going to say I do not know, and you can take for whatever I said tonight for validness, or you can take it as a lie, but I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm not going to give you what I really want to know, or what I really feel that you want to know. I'm just not. I gave you guys enough to critical think, and if you guys want to think I'm a liar or a bullshitter or whatever else, I gave you guys enough to critically think outside the box. If you guys don't think that the West did it and you think the Bio family did, that's your opinion. Somebody would have been arrested by now if we had that information, or if they had enough to charge these people. They do not. So as far as I know right now, they're both innocent until proven guilty, just like anybody on this panel, just like anybody in this chat. You guys sleep on that. Sleep on your conscience. Sleep on what you really feel in your heart. Don't give your opinion on what you think happened.
All right,
Think
Angie,
about
I'm about
facts.
to get ready to get off of here. Yeah,
Okay,
y'all
honey.
have a great night.
Okay, you too. Thanks for joining me, darling.
Y'all have a good night.
God bless you, baby. Thanks for
Okay, baby.
Later. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ange, if I had to come on here and show people that, again, we don't think the same, we don't talk the same.
Well, you needed to say that because everybody thought they knew the queen, and they thought, I've been your mouthpiece, you've been mine, when all along you obviously they ain't been paying attention.
No, they haven't. And again, critical thinking and thinking for yourself instead of thinking what you see and hear on the news, that ain't the truth either. They don't tell you the truth on mainstream media. Mainstream media is the worst outlet you could actually find stuff on. Now, if you and I were on this panel in the very beginning and we were going to be like 100% honest and do that stuff, yeah, I would give you, one-on-one how I really think and what really happened that I feel that I was told. But I still think both sides are innocent until proven guilty right now. And that's how I feel. I don't think one side did it. And yes, I've heard from different sources that the locks were interchanged and it looked like a Nazi Germany camp or something like in the inside. But again, I have not been on the inside. Again, somebody released a story on how there was one president under the tree. Who would know that stuff unless they were cops? We don't know even if that's true. We do not know. So everything we hear or see on mainstream media, you guys don't believe that stuff. Do not go with one narrative. Do not go with how you feel and judge on feelings. You got to judge on facts and convictions. And we're not God, so I can't tell you, Big Ange, right now that I even know more than you know, because you know a heck of a lot. You have a good source. You have a good source, and we agree on a lot, and we disagree on some stuff too. But
yes, we do.
I just don't want to. I just wanted people to know that you and I, and for the better sake of a comment, aren't in bed together or putting this narrative together how we wanted to prove something to somebody. I don't care how people see me as a person. I know who I am, and I know where I stand with God and with my family and who really loves me. All these other people on YouTube, yeah, we have subscribers, we have people who become close to us, but again, we don't tell everybody everything. And again, I don't want to be a part of getting in trouble for releasing stuff that may or may not be true. But all I did was give a narrative tonight that could be different options and different things I've heard. But I'm not going to tell you who I think really did it. I just think that both are innocent until proven guilty at this time. And that goes for the Bio family. That goes for the West family. That goes for the YouTubers. That goes for anyone in chat. And it goes for you as well. Like, I will tell you a lot, but I just cannot disclose stuff that may or may not be true until the cops can give me an actuality on it. And I've turned that stuff over. So when I get that from them, I'll give it to you.
Well, like I said, this is what happens when people assume they know people. And that's all I'm going to say. You think what you want to think. I don't really care. Because guess what? I sleep good in the high 10. I sleep like a fat cat. So you think whatever you want to think about the queen, it does not matter to me. I bring my own opinion. I try to bring logic to a story. It doesn't matter what I talk about. I let everybody voice their opinion. And the problem with most of you all is that you try to act like you are free thinkers. You want to listen to what other people have to say. You judge me, but really you do the same thing that you judge me from. You all go out.
They did it tonight, right?
Y'all mad at Doug right now for how he think, because you thought the queen rolled with Doug. But see, that's why I keep trying to tell people, you can't tell me about the queen because you don't know the queen. You thought you knew the queen, but you didn't know the queen. As you see, Doug has always had his own opinion about the storyline, and it differs from the queen. But because you thought you knew the queen, you didn't. I ain't never wavered from how I thought about the case. But I didn't disrespect this man because I didn't know this man. I told it 1,000 times. I don't know Doug. I don't know you all. I don't know the people on social media. But I let everybody give their opinion, just like some of you all been in the chat. You've been giving your opinion. Now you see your comment been deleted. Oh well, don't worry about it. It's social
You guys
media.
come out here with your boots on the ground. You
Who
guys come out
cares?
here with your boots on
Why
the
you
ground.
worried?
You come out here with your
Why you
boots on the
worried?
ground, people in the chat.
That's
You
what you
guys come
talk to
out
me
here
for.
and get
That's what I
arrested
love about
and
it.
be harassed and be threatened to be killed.
That's
You
why
think
I
I'm going
told
to come
Doug
on
to give me
here?
at the same.
You think I'm going to come on
That's
here
what y'all do
and
me.
tell everything I know, Miss Queen? I'm not. I've already been harassed. I've been threatened. I've been jailed. I've been, everything that you could have think happens to somebody outside of this case has happened to me inside this case. I should have never been arrested. I should for taking pictures down. I should have never. But again, I'm not even blaming the cops for doing the wrong thing, even knowing that proved today that there was no warrants. I proved that, but I'm not. I don't need that. That's not a part of this
But I
case.
tell you what, I bet you one thing. I ain't following no YouTuber what they talking about. Y'all ain't talking about shit.
You should never believe anything that you hear. You see people searching. You guys
That's
see
right.
things out there. You guys see the desert.
I don't
You
believe
guys can
nothing.
see what we're dealing with.
I ain't never believe
Yeah.
nothing I heard. I've always said that from the beginning.
No, and nothing you heard should have been believed. And again, we're not judges or juries. We're just not. We're
I
just
ain't never
people out
believed
here with
nothing I heard.
opinions and thoughts. Opinions
I
and
just
thoughts.
sat-
And if you guys
I
hate
just-
me or like me, I'm
I
sorry.
just sat back and listened. Y'all run, repeating what y'all heard from Pookie Channel, this and that, all up in my inbox. I done told you, stay out my damn inbox. That's
I've got 1,000. I got 1,080
inbox.
messages last
That's
night.
for the queen.
1,080 messages. Over 1,000
Look,
messages from
that's
people
for the
who think they
queen.
know.
My inbox for IG, all that was for my own personal IG account for people that rock with me, cool with me. Y'all all was up in there disrespecting with all your commentary, trying to tell the queen about the queen. You can't tell the queen nothing about the queen because you don't know the queen.
Wait, what about all the comments and all the emails about what we should be putting out on YouTube that are false narratives? All this stuff that they say are facts, I have to look into. And I've gone through over 1,000 emails in the last 2 days over this stuff. This is just a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of nonsense. And tonight I gave you guys back.
You didn't take care of your children. You didn't take care of your children.
I gave them back tonight.
That's a false narrative. You didn't take care of your kids. That ain't false. You lost your kids 2 times. 2 daddies came in and took the other 2 older ones. They went to the West House.
What I gave tonight is everything that people give me every single day and every single night in my message box. So, and I know you've been falling victim to this too. People coming in, trolling, saying this, saying that, trying to get you to release a story that ain't true. All this stuff. All night long. I get this every single day for the last 2 months.
This is what I tell a bobblehead. Since you know so much about the case, since you are boots on the ground, you know so much, then you go tell us what the hell them children are. I'll wait. You know what it is at. You know how long they had the kids when they went down. You know so much, then help us find the children. Instead of talking and yapping and making videos on some shit you don't know nothing about. Well, give us some information about the kids. Since you know Inspector number 1, Inspector number 1, Inspector Gadget number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Enlighten us. Hell.
Let's go gadget arm to the keyboard and everybody knows something once they can type something. I'm tired of hearing it from everybody. I hope you got tired of hearing me tonight of everything you guys give me. Everything you guys give a queen. It don't make sense, does it? None of it makes sense. Nobody's opinion has made 1 sense to me with valid facts or valid stuff that I could use.
That's been the point since day 1 that nobody brought any facts to this case.
So guess what?
Nobody.
We ain't going to give you guys anything we know because you guys will run and twist that narrative and make it something it isn't. And again, I wasn't going to do that tonight. I wanted to make sure you guys all thought different, whether you hate me or like me, or whether you like me or now hate me. I didn't give you what you wanted. And if that's not what you like, then don't watch my channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was out there today. There's so many ins and outs. There's so many places. There's so many turbines out there. There's so many, many options.
Everybody can judge Doug how you see fit. But I do what a lot of you can't do. I let all you speak, whether I agree with you or not. And that's the whole point. A lot of you have been in my chat talking right now. I don't agree with half of the shit some of y'all done said. But I don't say nothing disrespectful to you. I don't say nothing about you. So you get mad at Doug. You don't like what he's saying. There's some stuff Doug done said I don't agree with. I don't care for. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I let
Yeah,
him
and all that
speak.
stuff I
Just
gave you
like I
tonight.
let some of you all speak. So it's not
Everything I
any different.
everything I gave you
It's
tonight,
not any
besides
different.
everything I gave you tonight, besides a small few different things, were on key, but the rest was a bunch of bullshit. I just gave a bunch of bullshit to people who now have a narrative of how much they hate me over this, but yet not other people that are putting this out there or giving us that stuff. They don't hate, or they think that they're right. That's
Well,
not
and
true.
that's why I say everybody got their opinion. We talk about various stuff. When I'm not even talking about these children, I can be talking about other subject matter. People say a lot of things in the chat I don't agree with, but I don't go off and cuss them out and call them names and do all that kind of stuff. That's why I kept trying to tell you all you're hypocrites, because there's lots of times you all say stuff I don't agree with, and I don't block you. I don't curse you out. I don't say nothing bad to you. I don't say nothing bad to you when you're on the panel. So that's why I tell you to respect the people in the chat.
When they don't go live, and do what you do.
You
They
don't
don't
have
go
to like
live.
what I'm saying. I can tell you now, since like I've been saying, y'all think y'all know me. I don't
You
agree
don't.
with what Doug done said. But you thought you knew me. Because you don't.
Hey, you guys, I'm sorry my hair screwed up and everything, but I'll tell you right now.
You know me. You don't know me.
It's all real, by the way.
Listen, me and Doug, we ships passing in the night. That's what you need to understand about this thing called YT. Such as you
YouTube penitentiary.
We're not going to think the same.
Nope. But we can't.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, Doug, look, I'm gonna tell Doug to his face, and this is especially for AB and all you other old goofy ass YouTubers. Mm-hmm. Why the hell you don't think that they did it, Doug?
I'm going to tell you that I have nothing but respect for people who get on lives and do YouTube stuff, and go out and have boots on the ground. I don't try to talk trash or go negative on those people, and I still think
got no life, no way. Anybody look, I'm gonna say it while I'm on this live. If all you got to do is make a video about a YouTuber, you're a bottom feeder.
Right. And you know what?
No life. You don't got no conversation. You don't got no game. Because you're focusing on something that's not even important. There are children missing out here. And if all you got to do is upload a video with my content, somebody else's content, bashing another YouTuber, that shows you a bottom feeder, and you don't care nothing about those kids. Because if you are truly genuine about those children, that would be your focus, is the children. Whether you agree with no thanks, this YouTuber, social media, the news, whatever.
I'm gonna tell you guys, don't agree with anything I said tonight. Besides, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I know.
The likes, and you talking about somebody else talking about you in a video and all that old damn bullshit.
No,
you just the same. You talk and bash YouTubers. I've been saying a whole lot of stuff about a certain YouTuber right now. Just keep talking about that white man every damn day.
Let me ask you a question. How many people have already made? How many?
Had sex with you like Benny?
How many people have already made videos about what we've done tonight? How many people have already made videos about what we've done tonight or what they're going to use against us when none of it meant anything? None of it meant anything. I gave you guys everything that I could come out of the box that meant nothing. And people run with it already.
Just keep talking about a YouTuber. Oh, damn day.
Do you see how fast how fast the chat will turn, or their army comes out, or their comrades, or their cult? I gave everything tonight, and people could run with it, but I gave it.
Dougie, you've been Dougie, you're a fraud. You've been Dougie, Beanie. Hell is
everybody learned a lesson.
I hope you got that name.
I hope you all learned a lesson. I hope you all learned a lesson. I hope they all learned a lesson too, because guess what? Guess what?
So ignorant to sit up here and bash a YouTuber. This is social media. You don't have to watch the content. As I said,
I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated to tell you what I know and how I know it, because it's going to hurt the case. It's going to hurt the case like everybody. My point tonight was a show. My point tonight was to show how many people are hurting this case by speaking on stuff they do not know. I gave you guys everything you can to run with. I gave you guys a false narrative. I gave you guys a high point. I gave you a low point. I gave you the West are innocent, the West are guilty.
Dougie, Betty, everyday shenanigans.
Yeah, but guess what? Tonight we gave them the show they wanted, because guess what?
Finally, you got to see now what you thought you knew you didn't know. Grow up.
And I wanted to prove that point, and I wanted to prove that point tonight, because everything that is put out is they wanted to run with stuff before we even finish this live stream, where I can give you my true actuality on things, which I won't tell people what I know and how I know it and what I'm doing because of why I'm doing it, because it'll put me in danger, it'll put this case in danger, and it may put other people in danger that don't deserve that. So you guys think for yourselves, take what you wanted from this, but tonight I gave you, until now, I'm giving you guys the real, because I'm always real with everyday shenanigans when we talk. But again, we don't talk about.
I don't know you. I can't trust nobody to come up here and speak.
We don't talk about everything that we know. There's certain things that we don't talk about because our sources or different things give us this until we can prove a fact or until we can do this. There's just stuff we bounce around. Again, I have nothing but respect for Big Angie over here and the Queen and everybody. I have nothing against anybody in chat, even if you hate me now. I gave you guys a narrative to think about.
This person got to say. Let me see if this gonna be a trick. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. My mic works. Hey, so what's up with the people in the chat? Are they trolls or what?
I don't know. Like I said, I let everybody speak and give their opinion, so long as they don't use profanity and respectful. I let everybody talk.
I understand that. Yeah, because cussing people out, that's raunchy and disrespectful.
Where are you calling from, Zan?
Coming from?
I mean, where are you calling from? What part of the United States are you calling from?
Pennsylvania.
This is
Oh, Lordy, Pennsylvania. Okay.
I was in Williamsport. How far you were from Williamsport?
What do you have to say, Zan?
I would like to know how far you are from Williamsport, Zan.
Why should I tell you that? That's not really my concern.
Because I'm going to say right now, I don't think you know how far you are from Williamsport.
Doug, be nice.
I kind of wanted to ask you about the missing kids and stuff. Or is it kids? Or is it like a full-fledged adult or something? Because my mom, she's doing her best, trying to, just like give her side of information from what she gathers from the tarot cards that she messes with. And I'm trying to figure out what she does, but I don't know exactly what she does. However, she puts her heart and soul and effort into that. However, you all just don't consider that, and you just block her.
Who are you talking about?
Who's you all?
Whoever runs you guys' channel.
I don't know what you're saying.
This guy is already a mess.
I don't know what you're saying. So you're coming over here to speak on behalf of somebody that got blocked? That's what you're saying?
Have y'all heard of It Is I, Stacy? The tarot reader? The tarot reader?
No.
Are you here to promote somebody else's channel or something? I'm confused right now.
Not exactly. I'm just saying that she would like to help. She would
right, but I have.
What I'm saying, baby, listen. I don't know what you're up to, because see, that's why I can't let anybody just.
I'm not playing their tricks.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say something about the title of the video? Because that's what we're talking about. It's kind of branched off a little bit to this and that.
Yes,
but
I'm trying to grasp clarity on the situation so that way I could help as well.
Okay, so that's why I asked you, where were you calling from? I asked all my guests, where are you calling from? I don't know you. It's just a question. Are you calling from California, New York, Toledo, Ohio?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Okay, so what would you like to say, sir?
I just asked, can I try to help with my tarot cards?
Wait, you said your mom. You said your mom did tarot cards first. Now you're saying you do tarot cards. Now I'm confused because
I'm more like a trainee.
Oh, so you want to throw out what you've learned? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would just like to see if I can help.
Okay, help how? I don't understand what you're saying. I'm confused.
Xanax. What kind of help?
So, tarot cards, they you ask a question,
Okay.
and then it's cards when you lay them out after
Mhm.
shuffling, considering the question you ask.
Sorry.
It brings out information on what. Do you know what I mean? Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't know.
I'm just, Zan, you're on the panel. I'm just listening to you, sweetheart.
I'm just saying, if we can help, we can help.
Okay,
We're
what
not-
I'm saying is,
my mother's
you
not
have
one of
not-
those trolls.
Okay,
I'm
listen
not
to
a
me,
troll.
Zan. What do you have of relevance to what we're saying?
Oh, you're
If you have
saying
something
physical
to tell us-
evidence. No, that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying.
No, what
I'm
I'm saying
saying
is,
maybe we could point you guys or anyone else into the
Why
direction
wouldn't you
of
call the
physical.
cop? Call
okay,
the cops.
Doug,
Call the
Doug,
cops.
Doug,
Why would I call the cops?
Doug,
That's not my role.
Sorry,
okay,
man.
Not my mother's
Zan,
role either.
Zan, what do you have that you think will be of relevance since you are into tarot card reading? Just tell us what you have, and we'll go from there.
So you're saying I should ask a question with the tarot cards?
No, I ain't asking you to ask a question. You called in. So you're saying you're a tarot card
Yeah.
reader.
I'm
So
saying
I thought you
should,
had something to bring to us.
my mother wants to help with the missing people and stuff.
Okay, well, she probably should call the authorities then.
What is that going to do? They're also looking.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in.
Diane,
Hey,
I didn't mean to hold you. I've been
that's all
holding that.
right.
I don't know who's who. What do you have to say, baby?
Well, you know me. I say hi to everybody in the chat. I really
Well, I'm
don't
gonna tell
say
you the
much.
truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't know anybody.
No, but I'm speaking from my own truth.
Well, you speak for y'all the truth. I ain't claiming that I know anybody. I'm gonna eat my potato chips.
Look, I'm respectful. I am not rude. I don't make rude comments. And people do this stuff just to piss people off. It's stupid.
Look, I ain't worried about nobody. Guess what? I keep trying to tell y'all I sleep's good at a high 10. When I get off this live, I'm gonna turn my cell phone or the ID or the Roku or the red box, and I'm gonna do the queen.
Oh yeah, I believe it. But see, I still think, I honestly believe that Giselle and all them, they're guilty. If they just think about it now, if they cared about those kids so much when they were doing that interview, they didn't shed a tear. They weren't even worried. They didn't even care. You know, they didn't care.
They had fear in their eyes. If you ask me,
No, Doug, I don't believe it. They're guilty. Because if they cared so much about those kids, they'd be looking for them, they'd be crying, they'd be shedding a tear. They're not even doing it. And that's what people don't get. You know the body language, you see it. Yeah, they're guilty.
have you ever seen them do an interview besides that interview?
No.
So what would they look like if they had to do an interview about, a garage sale or something?
Now, Doug,
Dude,
don't start.
I wasn't even talking about a garage sale. Have you lost your mind? Or are you high?
No, I'm not high. Maybe you are.
I don't think so.
Be nice,
Yeah, I
Doug.
don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either. She asked me a question. I asked her a question.
Dude, you're being kind of disrespectful and rude.
That's your opinion. I gave you guys something to run with. I gave you something to run with. Now you just
you think you know about this case and you know more than everybody else?
No. You just said that the West are guilty. You just said that. No, you just said the West are guilty. How do you know that? Because you saw an interview?
Dude, I'm telling you, they're guilty. They are not innocent. If they were innocent, they would be looking for their kids. They ain't even looking for them. They don't even care.
They got people stalking them. You don't think they want to look or they can't look? What is it?
They don't want to look for those kids. They don't care. They want nothing to do with them.
So how do you think it happened? What went down to make them do this to the kids?
Well, obviously,
let's take all the shit that I gave
they
out.
wanted to get rid of them.
Let's take all the shit that I gave you guys earlier that was all mumbo jumbo and bullshit and things like that to show that, number one, Queen and I aren't in bed together with how we think and how our different opinions. But again, I know some stuff.
They thought they knew the Queen. I love it.
But no, that's what I'm sick of. You guys can think I'm high or drunk or this or that. I'm not either one of those. What I'm giving you right now is me, and I want to know what you actually think and how you feel that they're guilty by their interview. Because if you're such an expert, why aren't you doing this for a living on vocal analysis and other stuff that you could help solve crimes instead of just give your opinion and say that they're guilty? How do you know they're guilty? That's all I want to know.
They ain't innocent. If they were innocent, they'd be crying and worried and looking for those kids like they really care. They don't. And that's obvious to see. Well, look what Chris Watts did. He killed his family.
They're not the biological parents. I mean, maybe the biological parents would react that way like you just said. Maybe since they've only had them for an umpteenth time before that they lost them and they don't have that biological connection, do you think that they would cry right away or they would just feel differently or say how they felt because they're in shock? How do you know that they're guilty? You're saying they're guilty. I want you to know because you're judging them as God and jury and judge and everything when you're telling them you're guilty instead of saying they have something to do with it. You're saying they're guilty. How are you stating they're guilty? I want to know because right now you're just as guilty as them to me because everybody's just a suspect.
Dude, you better watch your mouth.
I can't. My nose gets in the way.
I'm telling you right now. They are guilty. They ain't out looking for the kids. They're out doing whatever the heck they want to do. They don't care about those kids. And that's obvious to see. I'm a mother myself and I've got kids. So shut your mouth.
I do too. So, and I'm not a mother, but I'm a father. So I just want to know, how are they guilty? What are the facts that you are saying that they're guilty? Because of an interview? Because of an interview.
Their body language. Watch
Their body language looks scared. His hands under his armpits is a comforting move. It's not something he's being, and I can tell you this for a fact. His hands under his armpits like this is not because he's comfortable. It's because he's nervous. He doesn't know what to say or how to say it the proper way and give what he can to a news interview. So I'm going to tell you, their body language doesn't mean crap.
And you're Mr. Know-It-All, really?
Yeah, I got this from I got this from an analysis actually from somebody who does this for a living. I'm not speaking just on myself. I'm telling you, after I thought they were guilty because of this, the same way. If you go back on my videos, I'll tell you from the first time I saw this, I thought they were guilty. I thought they were guilty, but until we looked into it further. And the way that it actually happens in body language goes when you're nervous or upset or confused on how you can state it without being, I don't know, putting something out to where people think like you. You know what I mean? They were kind of coached on how they could say it. But again, he was so nervous and she was nervous. You could tell she looks away. He's got his hands under his armpits. They've got masks on. We don't really see them completely.
I sure am, because I'm giving y'all what y'all wanted. This is what you wanted, isn't it?
Hell yeah, this is what they need right now. This is what they need.
You thought you knew the Queen, so I'm giving you what you
want. Need.
I'm giving
you
what
they deserve.
You thought you knew the Queen, so I'm giving you what you wanted.
I just want to know, Diane, how you know they're guilty because of their body language. What does that mean? What did they do to the kids? What did they do to the kids?
And the kids were out there with them? And they're somehow disappeared?
Andy B, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
Excuse me?
If somebody in the chat talking crazy, I'm letting y'all give y'all opinion. Y'all like to judge and say don't nobody let y'all speak, so I'm letting y'all speak. Right? Am I not letting you speak?
I didn't say you weren't.
No, I ain't saying you, but I'm just saying for those that thought they knew the queen, I'm letting
I
you
just
all
want to know how they're guilty
So,
because
this
of
is why
what
everybody's
you think of body
hypocritical.
language.
But
What
this
is the
why
body
everybody's
language?
hypocritical. 1 minute you say I don't let you speak. Then you say you're being blocked. Then you this. Okay, difference of opinion. You're speaking. Now folks in the chat talking about what I'm doing. No, I'm giving you what you want. You thought you knew me. You thought me and Doug was ride or die. Well, I've been told you. I didn't agree with what he said, but you don't listen because you take what you want from my commentary. Now you coming in still complaining.
And a lot of the neighbors have turned around.
You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
And I've never seen the kids in the yard.
Free speech.
Can I just ask you one question, Diane? I won't interrupt you. What is their body language telling you through facts that they're guilty of what you're saying they're guilty of?
I already told you. And if I have to repeat myself, you're going to piss me off. I'm telling you, if they really cared, they would have been crying, worried, and wanting their kids back, pleading for their kids back. You can smile all you want, fool. I'm telling you.
Wow, you're very negative, Diane.
When you're acting like a complete jackass, part of
I
my
just
language,
asked you
but
what facts show through their body language in their interview that proves they're guilty. You have not answered that. I'll tell you that. You gave your opinion, and that's all you gave. You didn't give facts or anything. So what are the facts that you know?
Need to be kicked off YouTube. Seriously,
Wow.
these people, you guys are running. You guys run with it and do whatever you want with it.
No, that's what you guys do, and we gave that to
right?
you back tonight. We gave that back to you tonight. That's what you do, Diane. Why don't you look in the mirror and put your face on YouTube right now? Why don't you put your face up here? Because what we'll see is probably a pipe in your mouth. Put your face up.
I don't
Diane.
smoke a pipe. Oh, you
put your face up, Diane. Put your face up. Put your face up. Put your face up. Show us who you are, because then your opinion will matter more to me.
Excuse me, I'm not a druggie. I never been a druggie a day in my life.
You sound like one.
Shut your mouth.
I need to be a part 2 because I'm already at 3 hours and 31 minutes. This will expire in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, so tell us, Diane, what makes them guilty through their body language?
The way they talked, the way they were acting, they didn't care. Everybody oblivious can see it.
Body language. I just asked you a question. What was the body language that you said that they're guilty through? Because now I'm getting angry because now you're putting a death sentence on someone that may not deserve it. Why don't you think about that?
Oh my God. For speaking
you
the
can't
truth.
answer, can you? You can't answer.
Well,
what is their body language?
This is what
Answer
y'all
the
want.
question. What's the body language that makes somebody guilty?
Like I said, everybody has been rallying
ridiculous.
and
ridiculous,
thinking this
man.
and that and talking about the queen and talking about no thanks and you think you know
Why would
everything.
you try to hurt somebody by saying they're guilty,
y'all
though?
give y'all opinions because y'all thought y'all knew me. But see, that's why
bunch of drama and bullshit.
The Lord says, I'm gonna give them what they want. The Lord said, let them all talk because they thought they knew you. They thought
let the dogs bark. Hey, anybody who talks long
they thought you and Doug agreed on everything. So the Lord said, no, go on, let them hear the whole truth because
if you talk long enough, you tell on yourself.
You tell yourself, and that's the whole point. Doug and I have not agreed on things. That was said day one, but you wouldn't listen because you thought you knew me. So I'm giving you what you all like to complain about. I'm letting him speak. I'm letting you speak. I'm letting Pookie speak. I'm letting Ray Ray speak. So nobody can never say she didn't let us give our opinion. Now you can
None of us have facts enough to point the finger. None of us have the facts enough to point who did it right now. None of us. And it's unhealthy to judge somebody or make someone's life a miserable hell because how are you going to feel if they come out that they're completely innocent and you guys have damaged their lives to where they can't even live it? People are following them. People are saying they're in sex shops. People are saying they're doing this. The family's doing that. What if it wasn't even the Wests? What if it was the Bio family? Or what if it wasn't any of them? What if it was none of them?
I'm letting all you all give your opinion, so you can't never after this live say Queen did not let nobody give their opinion. You all have your different opinion.
And half of them may not watch it till the end, and they're only going to run with what
it's okay. it will be known. The Queen let everybody give their opinion, and the Queen let it be known she does not agree with Doug's opinion of the West family not being complicit in the disappearance of the children. I've already said it's to Doug. See, that's the difference between me and you all, how y'all behave. I ain't got to argue with nobody all day about what I think. Doug is entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
And I don't judge you based on your opinion or your body language or this or
Because
this or
like
that.
I've been said, a lot of you have been in the chat saying things about all type of subject matter we talk about, and I didn't agree with things you all said, but never once did I disrespect you, call you names, say anything nasty. So that's why I let Doug give his opinion. See?
And Diane, I'm sorry if you feel like you had to rage quit over this stuff, but I'm asking you, what facts do you have over their body language that proves they're guilty? Whether they don't know how to react because it just happened, or maybe they didn't know how to verbalize it. There's so many different variables of why that interview looked that way. All the people that were standing on the side of them were Crips. A bunch of the bio families and other people were standing there staring at them that may just shoot them dead if they said something wrong because they don't care because they're that dedicated to that gang. We don't know that. We do not know the facts. And you cannot come up here and say that you know by their body language that they're guilty. You can't say that. You can say my opinion is because the way they reacted and the way they did their interviews, I feel they're guilty. But you're saying that they did it, Diane. That's what you said. And you rage quit because of that, because you couldn't answer that. You couldn't tell me facts of why you said that as opposed to your opinion of why you felt that. And that's the sad thing. And again, if we can't have a think tank and we can't talk about different variables and different options, we have to weed out the people who just feel a certain way, because you can't give that person a different thought theory after they have a narrative in their head. And I'm sorry about the earlier of this thing and maybe the stuff that I didn't, that I said was off or a little sideways, because again, we don't think alike, Queen, but we do have certain opinions that correlate and certain things that don't correlate.
Yes.
Whether it's family members, whether it's
I don't have to agree. I don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with no thanks. I don't have to agree with anything that's been said in the chat. There's, like I said.
And I'm sorry, you guys, if you guys ran with what I did in the beginning.
I let you all give your opinion. So now you can't never say that the Queen did not let you speak, did not let you give your opinion in the chat about whichsoever. He thinks one thing. I think differently. Yeah, you two got a little jiggy, but I let y'all have that because some people needed to see that because they thought they knew the Queen. So I let y'all have that moment. And for those of you coming here telling me how I should think, don't tell me how I should think. Don't tell me who I can have as my guest. Don't tell me who, because I'm letting all of you give your opinion in the chat, and you still talking and ain't been blocked.
I didn't want to come on even. I just saw all the people. I just saw all the finger pointing. Oh, I'm sorry, Goose.
Let me know if you can hear me or not.
Barely.
Goose, go ahead. What you got to say, baby?
We can't hear you.
Lisa, why you asking Doug, have he checked out the landfill? Have you checked it out?
Actually, I have checked out a landfill in Cal City, but when you go into Bakersfield and to Tehachapi, it's gated off and it's private property. I've done the landfill.
You go check it out and tell me what you find.
I already did. I droned it too.
No, I ain't saying you. Oh. Sounds stupid. I'm going to cut this live because I'm on 338. It's enough.
And Queen, I'm sorry if you felt disrespected, or any of your guests or people in chat that you feel that I twisted things sideways for you guys. But I want you guys not to just think the way you've thought since day one. I want you guys to give everybody an equal chance for due process and things that happen in real life, not just opinion and pointing the finger, because anything's possible. We don't know if the West did it. We don't know if the bio family did it. We don't know if somebody stole those kids that were casing that property and may know it. We do not know. The cops may know a lot more than us, and I guarantee you they do, but I don't even know what happened to them. I mean, I get, and I like do have a source.
I already gave my opinion how I feel. I believe the West is involved. Doug differs in opinion. That's his opinion. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all get y'all panties all in the knot, crying and moaning and trying to tell this and that. You fall yourself out all you want. I sleeps good in the high 10. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I gave y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all thought y'all knew who I am.
Like I said in my last live stream.
Everybody give their opinion.
Like I said in my last live stream, it went from 90%. It went 90%.
I don't have to agree with
my last live stream about these kids was 90% dead and 10% alive, and then it went to 50-50 because I don't know, and I don't know who did it or how it was done. All I know is a lot of stuff that I've been filtered from some people who are very close to each family.
Sorry.
And I still haven't made sense of all of it.
And so I could still hear Doug talking.
Frisco, come on with all that. Come on, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Like y'all grown. Act like y'all grown. Come on now. Goose, what you have to say, baby, before I check out of here, okay?
So,
I can't hear you, sweetheart. Your volume needs to come up. I can't hear you. Hello? I want to thank all of you for joining me. Thank you, Mr. No thanks. I want to thank all the viewers and my mods for moderating. It's been an interesting chat. As you see, you can agree to disagree, but like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. I thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. I appreciate all my guests. Thank you, Mr. No thanks, Queen Talks, Night Owl, my moderators, Miss Crystal. I thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Just don't believe all you hear. Just wait till more happens in this case. Good night. I appreciate you, Queen.
Yeah, I may come back, but the point is, I let everybody give their opinion out. So now you all can shut up. You can shut up now. Because I let everybody give their opinion. I don't have to agree with everything. It's been said now. You now know I don't agree with the thought process of Mr. No thanks. But I gave him his chance to speak, just like I let you all speak in the chat. It's no different.
And again, there's too much thought processes out there to tell you exactly what I feel and how I think. I just gave you guys another way of thinking.
You and I gonna you're gonna chop it up with me later to let me know why you think what you think, because you couldn't say it on the live.
I'll tell you.
Well, I got a funky feeling why you said the stuff that you said, but I'll let you tell me that verbatim.
Right. I'll tell you verbatim too.
Because in the end, we don't know what has happened to the children. We don't know where the children are. We don't know who's all involved with the disappearance of the children. And that's the spoken word. The only people that know who's involved with the disappearance of the children are the people who got the children gone.
That's right. And thank you for having me on. And I'm sorry that I had to twist it up, hon. Thank you. Call me after you're done with your live, okay?
Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for my mods. Thank you for those who participated in the live. God bless all of you. Stay safe. This is Everyday Shenanigans.